It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. With a win over Delta last Saturday, the San Juan Broncos earned their fourth straight trip to the Utah 2A State Championship game. Tonight, they'll try to win it for the fourth year in a row. They've waited all year for this opportunity, and it'll all be decided in the next couple hours. Live from Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University in Cedar City, it's the Broncos versus the Emery Spartans to decide the 2024 2A Utah State Champion. Welcome to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome live to Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. We do welcome you in for this final game of the 2A Utah high school football season as the San Juan Broncos getting set to take on the Emery Spartans to decide who will head home from here as the 2024 state champion. It is Friday Night Lights on a Saturday evening. Rhett Sifford welcoming you in alongside Art Adair. And Art, they don't accommodate us too well in these later rounds. We got to wait for people to get out of rooms, out of booths, and so we're not going to have a huge pregame tonight. We got to wait for them to leave so we can set up. But this is going to be a fun one here tonight between the number 1 and number 2 team in the 2A classification.
Yeah, they stack these games so tight it's hard to get in here and get any productivity early. But, yeah, excited for this game, Rhett. You know, these teams have met earlier in the season. Obviously, the Broncos coming away with a win on Emery's home turf. We're hopeful for the same outcome tonight. If it's like the first 2 games that have been played here today, it, should go San Juan's way. The team that won earlier in the season has been successful in both those earlier games. So we'll see what happens here tonight. You still got to go out and play the game. It's still 4 quarters of football, and you got to bring everything you got to this game. You can't leave anything in the tank, and you got to be almost perfect. So we'll see how what team comes out here tonight and really puts on a show.
Yeah, as the helicopter comes in to deliver the game ball here, that's a tradition here at SUU at Eccles Coliseum, so a lot of fun. They've got the helicopter coming in. One player for each team out there right now. I guess to see, Art, who catches that ball, that's what gives you the luck, right? It turned into a beautiful evening here tonight. We've got the sun on the field now, but when we started this foray today, it was snow coming down, and it was pretty wintry, so we're glad that the weather has improved a bit for our game this evening, but of course the sun will go down during this thing and it'll get nice and chilly out there. But let's take a look at this matchup now as we come in. And of course, back in week 6 on September 20th, San Juan beat Emery 60-20. And if you really look at that game, Art, you know, the Broncos really had the edge in that game. That last touchdown was kind of a token touchdown with the San Juan C team defense out there. And so when you look at it in all reality, it was more like a 61-14 score. And the game began with a couple of big kick returns, and we'll see how it starts here tonight between these two teams.
Yeah, and you like to take the momentum from that game into this game if you're San Juan, but you also have to come in hungry, and you have to come in knowing that there's been a few games played in between them, you know, then and there. So teams get better. Mistakes happen. You just got to come out here and play like you've never played them before, like this is the first game of the season, and you're hungry to go get a win.
Man, the helicopter came through here underneath the light poles there on his flyby, leaving after dropping the ball. That was pretty dynamic. Let's take a look at this series. San Juan leads 21-8 all time. George Felt had it on there as 22-7, and I emailed him yesterday, and he told me I was right. I thought I was. I based that off of what he sent me a few years ago. So it goes back to 1975, San Juan with the 21-8 game edge. As we're about to get the kickoff here, folks, we've got some stuff still to say, but the Broncos are kicking off to start, and it's going to be a short kickoff down around the 26-yard line. It'll be returned to the middle of the field, only about 4 yards or 3 yards to the 30. But San Juan has won the last 7 of these games going back to 1999. The 11-game postseason winning streak for San Juan is tied for 9th longest in Utah Prep history. San Juan is in its 17th championship game here today. That ties with Timpview for the 7th most all time. And, of course, the Broncos going for their 4th state championship in a row, and just 7 teams in all-time Utah history have got that mark. We'll get back to that in a moment, as it looks like it's number 22 carrying the football that time for Emery, and lost a couple on the play, Jackson Johnson.
Yeah, Jayton Knight in there quick, Rhett, from his end tackle's position, able to first get the first bump and then secure the tackle on the ankles, and they're going to have a big game out of McNaughton and Knight on those ends for the San Juan defense.
So 2nd down and 12 at the 27-yard line now for the Emery Spartans, starting on their own side of midfield. A complete pass to the 30 and a nice open field tackle by San Juan's number 31.
Cole Duke.
And that is a pickup. They picked up those 2 yards they lost. I didn't see who caught it. Looks like it was number 33 on that catch. So just a 2-yard catch for Braxton Butler. But Trevin Gilbert, 1 of 1, the senior quarterback to start the evening. And a big 3rd down for both teams now as Emery tries to convert, starting from their own 29-yard line, trying to get San Juan to jump, but now they'll snap the ball. And Gilbert goes over the middle, completes it to the same man, and a spin move. The Broncos having a tough time bringing him down. He's going to be right at the sticks. It's an 8-yard catch. And we'll see if it moves the chains. It'll be...
I don't think so, Red. I think he's going to be about 6
inches.
Well, they're going to give it,
yep.
But it looked like the lines were on the 30 on the top side of the 39, and the ball's at the bottom side. But I guess the officials saw it differently than I did. But yeah, they had the tackle there. Neves is there, but a hard run by the Emery Spartan, able to bounce it off and pick up the 1st down.
So Braxton Butler with a couple catches from Trevin Gilbert, and a new set of downs for Emery. And now Gilbert will try to run it around the end after a play action, and a nice open field tackle again by San Juan's Cash Palmer that time. And a loss of a yard. So
yeah, Jagger Neves was there first and helped by Cash clean it up. But that time Jagger didn't miss the tackle and came through there and got that loss. And if he gets that tackle that last play, we're looking at a 4th down here.
It's 2nd and 11. The ball is out at the 38-yard line for Emery. They have gotten 1 first down on this series. And there's an incomplete pass thrown to the sideline on the far side of the field. That'll make it 3rd down and 11, the first incompletion for Trevin Gilbert today.
And that's going to go down as a quarterback hurry for probably, it looks like, Branton Bethea. He was in there quick on the blitz, and which made the quarterback have to get a quick release, and the receiver was not into his route at the time he threw the ball.
So a big 3rd down once again. This would be punting territory if Emery can't convert this time. Trevin Gilbert throws to a wide open man out of the backfield, and again it's going to be the same connection. I believe it's 33. Maybe I'm wrong. No, excuse me. It's 22 out of the backfield. Jackson Johnson making a 12-yard catch, and so back-to-back first downs for the Emery Spartans, and they're on the move here.
Yeah, nice little swing pass by Emery. San Juan just not accounting for the back out of the backfield, and he just had 11 yards of free space before he ran into the defender.
22 yards passing for senior quarterback Trevin Gilbert so far. And a new set of downs again as they move it to the 50-yard line. And Gilbert will take the snap in the shotgun. Hands off to Johnson, and Johnson busted off left tackle for a good run. 11 yards across the San Juan 40 to the 39, and another first down for Emery.
Nice upfield blocking there. Nice block. Way to get their hips to the play side for that Emery line, and just some crisp blocking downfield is what gives him that advantage. And San Juan's going to have to get off those blocks and make them honest there in that front line.
So another 1st and 10, this time at the San Juan 39 as Emery moves into Bronco territory. They have the ball first tonight. A San Juan player jumps, but he didn't encroach. And now a pass thrown over the head of the intended receiver. Braxton Butler falls incomplete on the near side. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Emery likes to do that where most quarterbacks, they clap their hands. The center snaps the ball. Emery likes that delayed snap. So he'll clap his hands saying he wants to snap, and it's on the center then to kind of mix that up, to go quick, go short, go long, so that it makes the defensive line question when they can go. And he's doing a good job on this drive, that center for Emery.
So 2nd and 10 now at the San Juan 39. As the Spartans look to draw first blood here tonight in this 2A state championship game. Little throwback pass trying to set up the bubble screen. He gets it to his man. It is complete. And down inside the San Juan 35 to the 33. So a pickup of 8 for the Spartans.
Yeah, another missed tackle there by the Broncos. And luckily, he only picks up 8. But another play where San Juan should have had the stop there short, and they come up empty on the tackle.
And 30 yards passing now for Trevin Gilbert on this drive, which is now giving them 3 first downs. They're looking for another here on 3rd down and getting deeper into San Juan territory. At the 32 is where they spot it. They'll hand to Johnson. Jackson Johnson is swallowed up at the line of scrimmage and stopped for a loss of a yard.
Jayton Knight and Jake Ivins there to get him, and that's what San Juan has been good at for the majority of this year. Even on the 2 losses, they've been good at getting the pressure in the backfield and not letting the offensive line establish themselves. They've been good at getting around the blocks, and we've seen in this drive they haven't done that as effectively as they've missed tackles. So if they can clean that up quick, you'll see this 4th down turnover on downs here.
It is a 4th and 5. With that loss, it's back to the San Juan 34. Trevin Gilbert looks to pass. He scrambles, throws into the middle of the field. I believe it's picked off. Incomplete. I thought it was intercepted, but the Broncos will get it anyway with even better field position than they would with the interception on the turnover on downs.
Yeah, that's one of those that you're glad if you're a San Juan coach that the VAR official saw that as an incomplete, because then you actually gain 6 yards on that play for your starting. So now let's see what San Juan can do. I'm real excited here to see them come out fast and go no huddle with their quick offense for this first drive. They can't just sit back and let Emery rotate and get guys in position.
Tight formation for San Juan. This time they don't spread the field. And they'll pitch it to the far side to, maybe I guess it'll be a pass to Branton Bethea, and a quick 5 yards for the Broncos. And we'll say 6 on that play. So 2nd down and 4 on the pass to Branton Bethea. And Jayton Knight is 1 for 1 to start the evening. Now, Jagger Neves will get an opportunity, and he runs it across midfield for a big gain down to the Emery 44-yard line.
Yeah, and good job there by Javin. He has the block, but the kid turns his back, and good job by him for not blocking in the back and getting that called back.
I think that's a 17-yard run or thereabouts for Jagger Neves. Now Knight will pitch to Neves again on the option, and Neves will bust it to the outside. He's grabbed from behind, but reverses direction. He's going to get the ball to the sticks once again. An 11-yard run and a nice run that time for Jagger Neves and another San Juan first down.
And if you're the coaches, hopefully, I'm sure they went over this week with Neves, is hold on to that rock. We know he's put it on the turf a couple of times, so you want to make sure he's securing that ball.
Now the Broncos are in motion, and again, a tight formation as it's going to be Jake Ivins on a little inside shovel pass for 4 yards, and the Broncos move it inside the Emery 30.
And you just keep going quick here like San Juan likes to do because you've got Emery backpedaling a little here.
And now they spread the field.
Oh.
Receivers stacked on either side, but flags fly. Going to end up being a false start on San Juan here.
You got a double pump on the snap.
And so the Broncos will move back 5 yards. They were marching down the field until this penalty, and it looks like this will push them back to the 34-yard line, excuse me. And so it'll be a repeat of second down, or they never snap the ball. So second down and 11 now. They need to get to the Emery 23 to move the chains. And the clock is running. We're down under 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter. The Broncos stopping Emery on their first possession, and San Juan trying to get the first touchdown of the game. Now they get into the backfield and swallow Jagger Neves up right after he took the handoff. Nice open field tackle that time by big number 78 for Emery.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody even got a hand on him. I think that was their read. But, yeah, he just was quick in there behind that line.
And that was a loss of a couple. And the Broncos now on third down and long will throw over the middle, incomplete. That one over the head of the intended receiver, Branton Bethea. And that'll bring up a fourth down and 13, but I know this is 4-down territory for San Juan.
And that's why penalties are so huge. They're drive killers. You have the momentum, and then all of a sudden you get a penalty, and now you're fourth down behind the sticks.
And so we'll see if the Broncos can convert on fourth down here. This is the first time they faced third down and failed to convert there, so they'll try to do it on fourth right here. Knight drops back, has plenty of protection, throws over the middle, and has Jake Ivins wide open. He dives to make the catch inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, San Juan at the 8.
Good catch by Jake Ivins, and what a touch pass by Jake Knight. He took some mustard off of that, and he just kind of put it up over the top.
That's a 30-yard catch. 30-yard pass, and now Branton Bethea gets a pass to the inside the sideline. He stays in bounds. Touchdown. San Juan goes in from 8 yards out, and the Broncos draw first blood.
And how many times this year have we seen San Juan get behind the sticks, even on a fourth and long, and they just come out and they just dial up the right play every time. And then what a move by Branton Bethea here. He's almost going to get pushed out of bounds. He puts his foot in the turf, gets back in, and then up the field. There was 2 guys out there that should have made that tackle.
Yeah, he slipped a couple tackles over here, and that's been the MO of San Juan all year. And now they'll go for 2 as they go aggressive, and they get into the end zone by the feet of Jagger Neves, and it is 8-0 San Juan as they open the scoring here with 6:14 to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, I think Coach Christensen doesn't want to leave anything on the field here. He wants to make sure to make a statement in this game. So I thought I saw him wave one finger down there for 1, but he must have changed his mind because they obviously went for 2.
Either that or he did that and the player said, nope. I don't know.
But, yeah, what a drive there. For a moment, it looked like they were stalled with the big penalty, and then they just keep moving the ball down the field. And what a catch, what a throw. But, you know, last week Jake had some pretty big drops. I think he had 2 or 3 drops that were sure. He's a sure-handed kid. And so you love to see him come
Beautiful
out
catch
with
there,
one of the first catches of the night, and not a easy catch by any
right.
means. And he comes up and with that confidence that builds in your players.
Well, I want to hear from Coach Christensen. We did chat with him before the game, and since they robbed us of a pregame here this evening, as soon as we get this kick return, Emery is going to return it to the far side. Got a little hold there, uncalled, and that goes out of bounds on the far side around the 25, 28-yard line or so. But let's hear from Coach Christensen. The Broncos have already scored one here tonight, but here's what he had to say before his team got ready to go here in the state championship game at SUU.
Coach, championship game, it's exciting to be here. I know this was one of your goals this year. I know you're not done here today.
That's right. Job's not finished. It's awesome that we've got here. It's such a It's a great opportunity, but this is the one that matters, so we got to go get it done.
Talk me through the prep this week leading up to this here today.
We try to keep it as, obviously as normal and routine as possible. Just took it as another game. Kind of feels like a short week because it was Saturday instead of Friday. But we just wanted to keep routine and keep it all the same. Obviously, it's a big game, but it's still another game. So go out, ball out, just like we have all year.
Are the boys feeling loose off the bus here today? You guys feeling loose? What's the feeling coming in?
Yeah, I like how they're feeling. It's always tough, kind of switching up routine that way and sleeping in a motel and then having to wait till 4. But we were able to get into a nice warm gym, watch this 1A game on a projector, and guys seem very loose and they seem ready to roll. They seem like they're very business oriented today. They want to go finish the job.
Well, Coach, this team's goal, one of their goals was to take you guys 4 quarters last time. They weren't really able to accomplish that. What is your goal against them here today?
We got to put this thing away early. We got to jump all over them. We can't come out on our heels. We can't come out playing out to make a mistake. We just got to go take it to them. Right from the kickoff, we want to jump up on them. I told them I'd love if this game was over at halftime.
Well, snow coming down. It's football weather here today finally. Do you think that's going to affect you guys at all?
I don't think so. I think if weather did become a factor, I think it would benefit us. I think we can run the ball very well. But I still think we can throw. I think this is great. It's not too cold. It's snowing a little bit. This is what I always dreamed of playing in when I was younger, is a nice, cold, snowy state championship game. So I don't think it'll matter.
Anything else you want to say before you get going here today?
Nope. Just pumped for these kids. Pumped for a great opportunity, and thank you guys for following us all year. Let's go do it.
It's our pleasure. Get the job done today, Coach. One last game.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And a big thanks to Coach Christensen for chatting with us before this game today. And just wanted to shove that in there. We've had to kind of ram things in here with no pregame, having to wait to get in this booth here today at SUU. But the Broncos have stopped Emery once again. A big 9-yard sack ended up resulting in 4th down. And a punt to San Juan now puts them inside the Emery 40. So, Art, you heard Coach Christensen talking about we want to get started early. We don't want to be starting on our heels, and they're doing that so far and now looking to put in the first touchdown of the game here.
Yeah, the first drive was great, and that second defensive stand is just what the Broncos needed.
I think that they run it that time with J.D. Palmer
Yes.
for a yard, and now he'll get the pitch this time, and he'll take it inside the Emery 25 for another San Juan first down. That's a 9-yard run right there, so back-to-back runs for J.D. Palmer, and the Broncos have a 1st and 10 inside the Emery 25, and now the Spartans are going to call a timeout to try to slow down this Bronco offense.
Yeah, you got to, if you're the Emery Spartans, you have to find a way to get your defense some rest, and honestly, it's going to have to be timeouts, and you don't want to burn those timeouts early, but where you gave San Juan a short field, your punt was less than desirable. I think, what did that punt net to 8 yards? Maybe?
Something. It was very short, yes.
And so you definitely got to get your defense rallied here and say, hey, guys, if we let them, we can't go down 2 scores here. We know what this scenario looks like. We've been in this situation. We've got to stand tall here and get a shutout, and you've got to get them a break because it's cold out there, and when you get cold, you kind of get, hitting's a little harder. It hurts a little more. And if we know anything of this San Juan team, they like to hit.
They do. They do. And, well, they got an opportunity right now with a 1st and 10, and they spot the ball right at the 25-yard line. So it was barely a first down, but it is a first down. And now the Broncos going downhill toward the Emery end zone here. And Knight will hand off to Jagger Neves. No hole to the left side. He reverses field. Now a lot of green grass, and he goes inside the pylon for a touchdown, I believe.
He called it.
He called it a touchdown, so it is a touchdown. What a run by Jagger Neves. The original play wasn't there, so he ran it to the other side of the field.
Yeah, going left side off tackle, and there's nothing there. And what a great job by those offensive linemen to not get a block in the back or a holding call, because a lot of times when you reverse field as a running back, you come back on the other side, especially when you're coming 40 yards across the field. You can have that happen with your linemen. Great job by those linemen.
It's a 25-yard touchdown run for Jagger Neves, the junior. And now they'll pitch it or give it to Jake Ivins, and he throws going for Jayton Knight for a 2-point try. But Fortunately, Jayton's able to make a tackle over here because it was picked off. No good on the 2-point try, so now it's a very football-looking 14-0 score.
That's a new play we haven't seen. They send Jayton in motion. They send their quarterback in motion, direct snap that to Jagger, who pitches it then to Jake, and Jake throws it out there. And luckily for the Emery Spartans, they didn't bite on the they didn't bite on the fake, and they came to the quarterback. The outside backer covered that perfectly, and it's an extra point. So you've already you're at a football score right now, 14, because you did the 2-point conversion first. So why not try it again and try a little trickery in the state game? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's not like they can return that. So just a dead ball.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old Melvin play back when my family lived in Kentucky. My brother was a Little League quarterback, and they had a play where he would yell at one of his teammates, Melvin, Melvin, and then they would snap it to someone else instead of the quarterback and run a trick play that way. Here's Emery on a kick return. Oh, and a nice return for number 21. And let me get a name on that. That's Ty Yost. And he returns it all the way back near the 40-yard line, so it'll be good field position for the Emery Spartans on their third possession.
Yeah, and if you're the San Juan kickoff team, a lot of those guys were running down the field in their lanes, and then they were just trying to score up somebody and hit them. If you're on the kickoff team, sometimes you just want to go hit somebody, but at the same time, you got to find the ball and not let them outrun you. A lot of heads were down. They were just trying to bump shoulders. You've got to have your head up. You've got to stop. You've got to break down and get that progression stopped.
So Emery with a 1st and 10. They officially spotted at the 39-yard line. The Spartans trying to break through this San Juan defense. The Broncos have stopped them 2 times in a row. And the Broncos have the first 2 touchdowns of the ball game as well. And there's an incomplete pass to the right side. And I'll tell you right now, I don't think Porter Herdsman wanted to catch that anyway. He was going to be slammed, I think, if he'd have made that catch over there.
Yeah, a little too tall, but I believe was that number 20 out there maybe on coverage. Brody Bilbo, yeah, he'd have lit him up if he'd have caught that ball.
Yeah, he was definitely not in a good position, Ty Yost. And so Emery will get back to the line of scrimmage and try again. 2nd down and 10 from their own 39. And Trevin Gilbert sends a man in motion. He will throw to the right side, and it's picked off by Trip Porter. He gets his 3rd interception of the season.
Palmer.
Sorry, Trip Palmer. What did I say, Porter? So I'm just making names up. I still had Porter Herdsman in mind, but 1st and 10 for San Juan with the interception at the Emery 42.
Great read by Trip. The quarterback stared that down from the snap, and any good defensive back reading the quarterback's eyes will just jump that route every time. And, wow, just a great play by Trip there. And, he hasn't had the opportunity to kick a field PAT here to keep his streak going and his
right.
2-way record. But he goes out and says, hey, if I can't get the PAT, I'll do it another way.
There you go. He gets the pick. And now the Broncos back in business offensively. Jayton Knight hands to Jagger Neves. This time he gets swallowed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, just some blocking breakdown. You can hear the San Juan offensive line coach over here. He's trying to pump them up from the booth up here. I know they can hear him. So it's one of those things that you got to get your feet moving. That's one of the best things about offensive linemen. You learn how to have quick feet.
So the Broncos hurrying up here. 2nd down. Looks like a loss of 3 ultimately. And now they'll look to the sideline for the play. We got 2 receivers on either side as they spread the field. And Jayton Knight will drop back to pass. Standing on his own side of midfield, lobs one up, and it was about 4 yards ahead of Brant Bethea, who flips to kind of put a bookend on that incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, that time Jayton aired that one out on that pass earlier on that second drive with Jake. He took a little off of that. That one, he stepped into that one.
So a big 3rd down here for San Juan. They need to get the ball down near the Emery 30. They're back at midfield right now following the loss of yardage. Trips to the right, and Jayton Knight rolls out to the right now, throws deep down the field again, and this time a little miscue, I think, as the man was not in the right position for the pass, and it's incomplete again, and 4th down and 13 for San Juan.
I think that's one of those plays Jayton would like to have back because he had a lot of field over here. We're on the far, hash, and he could have run it all the way to this side. There was no one over here. Everyone had dropped back in pass coverage. He had 30 yards of green grass, and we've seen him earlier in the year taking that advantage and running that ball. That time, you got to just do it.
The Broncos are going for it on 4th down, and again, now this time Knight has a spy on him. He'll have to throw, and he throws into coverage, and it's knocked away. So 3 straight incompletions are going to result in a turnover on downs here. And a big stop if you're the Emery Spartans. They finally stopped the San Juan offense. The Broncos had started inside the Emery 40, so a little bit of a disappointment for San Juan. They'll have to go back out on defense now as they turn the ball back over.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Christensen, you're telling Jayton, hey, listen, kid, put this game on your back. You've done it all season. The only time we really haven't seen him be really assertive in the run game with himself is that first loss up there at Grantsville. But since then, he has taken that advantage, and he needs to do that in this game. He's going to win or lose this game for these Broncos.
And just as a side note, I misspoke. It's actually the 5th interception for Trip Palmer this season. And so now, or excuse me, let me check it again real quick.
21 on the carry there for a loss of 1, Rhett.
All right. So it'll be 2nd down and 11 for Emery. I'm having trouble flipping my sheets everywhere here, Art, so we'll see if I can get it together. It is his 5th interception, excuse me. So Trip Palmer gets his 5th interception, but unfortunately the Broncos not able to turn it into points. And it's 2nd down and 11 now for Emery at their own 43-yard line. After a loss from Ty Yost of a yard. And now Trevin Gilbert wants to throw. He throws over the middle in coverage again, and this time it's knocked away. It was behind both the receiver and the defender for San Juan, and that was Cole Duke in the vicinity there for the Broncos.
Yeah, and the Emery Spartan reaches out and grabs his jersey, pulls him backwards, and if he doesn't do that, Cole might have that ball, but his momentum was going away from the play. But, just not a good throw.
That was amazing. It was thrown behind both players there, so really nobody had a chance at that. And 3rd down and 11 now for Emery. The Spartans desperately looking for some offense against San Juan here. They're down by 2 touchdowns, and they will whistle this down. I'm guessing encroachment on San Juan.
San Juan was pointing at an offensive lineman, so we're going to see what the umpire saw here, and he's going to call the side judge in to confirm. But San Juan saying, hey, you guys flinched and you drew us off sides, and that's a false start on the offense. So we'll see what the officials saw.
According to your Halloween costume, they didn't see much, Art.
Well, I'm hoping these ones are a little more coherent.
Coherent, I love you.
So I think they're gonna call it against Emery by the way the official's standing.
Yeah, which would be the false start, making it 3rd down and 16, and that is what they're going to do as they mark it off back to the 38-yard line of Emery. So 5 yards isn't a whole lot, but now 3rd down and long for Emery. We are we're under 2 minutes to go in this opening quarter already. 14-0 lead for San Juan here in the 2A state championship game. And Emery coming to the line here, desperately looking for a 3rd down conversion. Now after that penalty, they'd probably have to punt here if they can't convert. Trevin Gilbert with the hard count. Now he gets the snap. He's pressured and will throw it up. It's incomplete on the far side. And again, another quarterback hurry for San Juan, and it looked like it was big number 99, Brad Scow, getting in there to hurry that quarterback. That's such a big play, Art, and it does show up on the stats, and we might mention that here a little bit later.
Yeah, and great coverage out there by Tyrion Lee as well at that cornerback position.
So if you can get pressure in on the opposition's quarterback all night long, which San Juan right now is doing, you're going to give them trouble. You're going to make it really hard for them to make anything happen on offense. And now this time Emery gets a good punt, and it'll finally pin San Juan back inside their own 30. So this will be the first time this evening the Broncos have started that deep on their own side of midfield. And it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 27, it would appear.
Got a flag out here by the head official threw it, so let's see if they're going to call. Typically, he's in charge of watching the punter for roughing, but
well, that could bode very
looks like
poorly
they're bringing
for San
the ball
Juan.
back this way, so I'm going to say this might be against Emery. Nope.
Running into the kicker is the call on
short,
San Juan.
Yeah, that's not the big one, so you do get a 5-yard penalty. You do get a redo 4th down, so they'll punt it again, but that's not a roughing, so not an automatic 1st down.
Well, we'll see. If I'm Emery, I might have taken that. That's been their best punt today. They are going to come back out in the punt formation, and I guess now you run the risk of San Juan getting return, or they're going to try to fake it, and it's not going to work. The Broncos make the stop, so even worse for Emery. They're going to give the ball back to San Juan at the Emery 49-yard line.
Yeah, number 21 carries that for about 5 yards, but that's about all he got. And he needed just a little over 10.
Yeah, so I don't know. Interesting call, definitely aggressive. And it doesn't work out for Emery right here. It does for San Juan.
I love the call, though, Rhett. Why not? You've played this team early in the season. If you're Emery, you know what they're capable of, and you know what the outcome was from the first game. So why not try that right now? I mean, throw caution to the wind and go try to win a ball game.
Yeah, we kind of saw the opposite last week against Delta, where even late in the game when Delta was down by so much, they weren't being very aggressive. But here, early in the game, Emery tries something. San Juan will go with that shovel pass here, and not much for Jake Ivins. In fact, no gain on the play.
Yeah, and so far tonight we've seen that the Emery front three, their nose tackle and their two defensive tackles have had kind of the advantage here, and we didn't see that a lot when we went to Emery and played.
And that was the first completion for Jake Knight in the last 4 tries, and now he'll take it himself and rumbles ahead for 9 yards for San Juan down to the Emery 40-yard line on a nice strong run from the QB.
I believe that's his first run, right?
It is, yep.
And so, yeah, you're going to need more of that out of Jayton because they've got to be a dual threat back there.
Yeah, and you would have liked him to take it on that big open play that you talked about earlier, but he will take it again. And the ball is down, and San Juan, I think, has recovered it mercifully for them as Jayton Knight put it on the turf, but they get it back, and he does end up picking up the first down on a 3-yard run. A little scary for San Juan right there.
Remy Watcott able to come up with that for the Broncos, which saves the drive here.
So 1st and 10, and now the Broncos snap the ball before they get the chain set, and Jayton Knight is hammered. I don't know what happened on the blocking there, but someone came in absolutely unblocked and crushed him for a sack, and it's really rare for San Juan to allow a sack like that.
Yeah, the senior, number 33, Braxton Butler out from Emery, he just comes unblocked. Nice defensive call there. Like we said, if you're the defensive coordinator here, you've got to dial something up to just get something going. And, wow, now we're looking at 2nd and almost 20 as the quarter comes to an end.
Yeah, that's the way the first quarter ends. It's a 14-0 San Juan lead. They're going to be facing a 2nd down and almost 20, 2nd down and 19 when we come back. We'll send it for a break. We'll return to Southern Utah University. It is the 2A Utah State Championship football game. Broncos lead Emery 14-0. You're listening to Friday Night Lights on a Saturday evening on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Since 2009, Blue Mountain Hospital has set the standard for rural health care, bringing excellence in healing, quality care, and inspired staff to San Juan County. We offer the county's only accredited sleep center, compassionate labor and delivery, top-tier emergency care, and flexible dialysis options. At BMH, our comprehensive services are delivered by a passionate team. Visit bmhutah.org to learn more. We can't wait to meet you.
It's Friday.
Back live. Welcome back live to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live as the Broncos throw incomplete over the middle. Man, that was a wide open receiver there. And right now, Art, things somewhat in sync, but somewhat not in sync at times as well for this Bronco offense.
Yeah, Montella had the inside leverage there on that slant and just dropped the ball. Now the sun is shining right there. Don't know if that's part of the reason why, because he's usually pretty sure-handed.
Yeah, and the sun won't be shining for much longer. The shadows are coming across the field. This time, Knight is going to air one out into coverage, and it's bobbled, nearly caught by Jagger Neves, but falls incomplete. So in the last, 6 tries, 5 have been incomplete for Jayton Knight, and it is going to be a 4th down and 19 now for the Broncos. And they're going to go for it on the Emery side of midfield. Well, that looked like they were maybe going to do a quick punt there, but a timeout is called by Emery. So Jayton Knight, I think, was ready to quick punt that ball, but
yeah,
so interesting.
You know, it's just the passing, and it could be because it's cold down there. There is a breeze. I mean, that flag is at the flagpole standing straight out, and the flag's on top of the goalpost, or they're straight out. So there is a little bit of a we're going into the breeze right now, to the wind, and it is cold, and so that does stuff to that football. It makes it a little bit harder to throw sometimes, so you've got to adjust to that. Hopefully Jayton will see him adjust to that quick, because San Juan's got to have that deep down the field presence. That's what they're known for, and that's their big scoring opportunities.
So it's once again 4th down after the timeout. We'll see if it's going to be a punt this time. Nobody's back deep for Emery The Broncos at the Emery 45, and it will be punted by Jayton Knight. And let's see how far it rolls. Looks like it's going to roll nicely to the 9-yard line. So the Broncos elect to punt this one away. So back-to-back stops for the Emery defense. And the Broncos continue to lead 14-0. We're just underway in the second quarter here in the 2A state championship game. And Emery will be taking over deep in their own territory.
Yeah, we'll see what the defense can come out. This is prime opportunity to get a big stop here, 3 and out, and then flip the field. We've seen the punting situation for Emery a couple of times, and, you know, the wind will be blowing with them. But you may be able to get this on their side of the field if you can hold them.
Well, 1st and 10 for the Spartans, starting from their own 9. And Gilbert will hand off, and immediately getting swashbuckled in the backfield is the running back. And I believe that's number 21, Ty Yost. It is. And he will lose a couple, and great defense for San Juan continues.
Our buddy George McNaughton, we've talked about him a few times this year. He's in there quick. And, you know, it's hard to play offensive line no matter what team you're on and try to outmaneuver the defense. And at that time, George McNaughton just too quick for the Emery line.
I've got 2 yards rushing net right now for Emery here in this first half. And so that's the way it's been. The San Juan defense is shutting down the run right now, and that's a big goal for this defense as Trevin Gilbert throws complete on the far side of the field to Hayden Abrams for the first time this evening. And he gets a quick, 7 yards on that play.
Javen Montella able to push him out of bounds, but San Juan blitzed on that, Rhett. Coach Bowering dialing up a little pressure where Emery's close in their end zone, tried to get to maybe a sack, maybe a safety there as he dials up a blitz.
Gilbert working from the shotgun for the Emery Spartans as they move it out across their own 10 to the 14. 3rd down and short, and the pass thrown a little bit behind the intended receiver, who once again was Hayden Abrams. And the incompletion brings up a 4th down and 5 now, and a very obvious punting situation for the Emery Spartans here deep in their own territory.
Yeah, this is one of those that we just mentioned. You know, you get a 3 and out here. They're deep in their own territory. You might get a better punt here with the win, but that favors San Juan because you may be able to field this punt and get a return.
And both quarterbacks struggling right now, Art, to complete passes, but like maybe for the reasons you spoke about. And Emery will have to punt this one away. Branton Bethea will get a return of about 6 yards back inside the Emery 45 to the 43, where the Broncos will take over. So a bit of a stalemate right now as the two teams trading scoreless possessions for the last 4 possessions, and we'll see what the Broncos can do here.
And they've only run JD twice, I believe, if I'm correct. And they usually use JD to soften up the defense. And I'd like to see him go to that. You know, let JD pound it in there a few times, soften him up.
They're going to use him as a blocker this time. Jayton Knight will throw complete to Owen Adams for the first time today, and he'll take it down inside the Emery 25 to the 24. So that is a 5, 10, 15, 20-yard pass.
Yeah, nice little turn move there by Adams to get that extra yardage.
And for Jayton Knight, nice to have another completion there. It had been a while. Knight will throw incomplete this time to Owen Adams, but flags come in. Going to be a pass interference on the Emery defense.
Yeah, and it is a PI. He goes up to make that catch, and he gets shoved in the back. That could also be a defenseless receiver if he makes a bigger hit than that. But correct call on the pass interference.
So this will move the ball down. Let's see. Where's it going to go here? They still haven't marked it off, so we'll have to see. It's likely this is going to be down inside the 15.
Yeah, it'll be a 15-yard or so.
Yeah, all the way down to the 12. So the Broncos with a 1st and 10 here. And now definitely in business in the Emery red zone for the 3rd time today. And Knight will take the snap from the shotgun, hands off to Jagger Neves, makes a couple moves and goes into the end zone. Touchdown, San Juan.
Rhett, I don't know if you saw that, but Remy Watcott and your center, Cutler Baker, had a hole so big there built on that line that me and you could have ran through it side by side with the football. I mean, great blocking up front by the offensive line, and then Jagger does what he does best. He gets to that second level and then makes a move and makes defenders miss.
That's a big hole when you start talking about it that way. That is 69 yards rushing now for the San Juan Junior. 2 rushing touchdowns today, a 25-yarder and a 12-yarder. As we get an offside called against Emery here on the PAT. We got Trip Palmer out there now finally. I think the things have settled down. We're going to stop going for 2. Oh, now they will go for 2 because it says so on some sheet
somewhere. The Matrix
somewhere.
says go for 2.
So, yeah, when you get the offside penalty, you automatically go for 2. Barkley is a man of tradition, that's for sure. And so
J.D.
San
Palmer
Juan
back there.
Going for 2. Let's see if they're going to punch it in right here.
You got
Jagger Neves at quarterback.
Yeah, you had.
Was that Jake Knight in motion again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
So maybe another little trickeration play here.
We're just running some fun plays on to close out the year, I guess. But now a flag maybe on San Juan. Or are they going to – I think maybe they confuse the refs with their formation. We'll see.
I don't think there's going to be I don't see a flag. I think they just, they were confused a little bit. And
they just blew the play down because they didn't understand?
It's like one of those volleyball plays when they, you have to reset it.
Wow. Okay, well – they sent Jayton Knight in motion, and that exploded the referee's brains, I think. Let's see if they do it again. I was interested to see what was going to happen. They don't this time. Jagger Neves will run the Wildcat as he just takes the direct snap and runs it in behind J.D. Palmer. Goes into the end zone for 2, and it's 22-0 for the San Juan Broncos. And we're just over a minute and a half into the second quarter, so after a couple scoreless possessions, the Broncos punch it in again, and now they've got a 3-touchdown lead.
Man, if you put J.D. Palmer in front of me running, I could make yards too, because that kid's just a beast out there on the field. He will run you over and then back up over you again. That kid he's a specimen.
And the thing is it happens all game long, and then eventually by the second half, the defense is so worn down, they're shying away from those hits. They're afraid to continue taking hits like that, and it just wears teams down.
And that's what I was saying earlier, made the mention of that. We haven't seen a lot of that to this point. We're 10:24 left in the second period. But J.D., his specialty is just softening up a defense. And he makes it so that that defense is tired. They're on their heels. They're looking at the side of their helmet to see where he's coming from. And then that opens up those spaces for Jagger to go just make some moves.
Oh, they fumble the kick return, but Emery's able to dive on it. Trip Palmer's only action today has been on the kickoffs. He hasn't had a chance to increase his PAT numbers, but what were you going to say?
It was like a hot potato down there. I think 4 Emery Spartans touched that.
Yeah, it bounced around down there, and a gaggle of Emery players, and finally they fell on it. There were some things I wanted to say about this team, Art. Trip Palmer was one of them. His 56 PATs was 4th in the state coming into this game, coming into this week, I should say. Got some other stuff too, but Emery's about to run a play, so it's 1st and 10 for the Spartans from their own 26-yard line. And Trevin Gilbert drops back to pass. He's hit as he throws, so again, not a sack, but another quarterback hurry and an incomplete pass for Emery.
Yeah, and just fantastic defense that time by the Broncos to get in there, get in the quarterback's face. I'm always been a fan as a defensive coordinator. You don't have to make the sack, but get up, get in the quarterback's face, get your hands up, and that's just as good to me. A quarterback hurry just as good as a sack. I know it's not on the stat record as good, but to me as a coach, heck, go get it.
That's been one of the Broncos' main things this year is not giving quarterbacks an opportunity, and now big hit as I can't see the number.
J.D. Palmer.
J.D. Palmer with the hit. And stops that receiver after a short gain on a catch from Hayden Abrams, and maybe a couple yards before he was hammered by who else but J.D. Palmer. We were just talking about it.
I'll tell you who it went to here is number 3.
Yeah, it was Hayden Abrams.
Yep. And J.D. just ran through him.
So a 3-yard completion, though, for Trevin Gilbert. Makes him 7 of 15 unofficially on the night. He'll take the snap in the shotgun once again, and once again he's hurried out of the pocket. They're catching up to him, and once again he throws incomplete on the far side, and guess what? It's 4th down.
Yeah, and just able to get there and get that pressure on him. Almost had him tugging at the bottom of his jersey there, and he's just able to throw that ball away. Smart decision there by the Emery quarterback.
Well, for these Broncos, as Emery gets set to punt the ball away, Jayton Knight's 3,770 total yards led the state coming into this weekend, 22nd in the nation. That's that's total yardage among all facets of the game. So he leads the state coming into this week with 3,770 total yards. Second in the state with his 3,285 passing yards coming in. Jagger Neves, 188 points coming into this game, was third in the state, and his 31 TDs also third in the state. So those were a couple kids we just wanted to mention here that I was supposed to mention during when it ended up being a non-existent pregame show here this evening. So San Juan takes back over from their own 44, and they'll go to J.D. Palmer, and he's continuing on his feet here, fighting for yardage. He gets about 7, and the Broncos move it across midfield into Emery territory once again. And it will be second down and a long 3. Yeah, second down and 4, it looks like, officially. At the Emery 49 now, and Jayton Knight hands to him once again, and this time not going anywhere as Emery got in the backfield, stop him for a 2-yard loss that time.
Yeah, and anytime, if you're an offensive line coach, anytime you see your linemen looking back towards the play with their butts towards the end zone you're headed to, not a good sign. It means they blew their blocking assignment. You had 3 Broncos that time all looking at the play.
They should just lay down and act hurt right there. Is that what you're saying? Jayton Knight will drop back and pass on third down, and he's got a man in coverage. Owen Adams comes back and nearly makes the catch at the 20, but it falls short, incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 7 for San Juan. So both quarterbacks, as far as percentage tonight here in the early stages, struggling a bit. Both have thrown a bunch of incompletions already, and Jayton Knight throwing right into the wind right there, and that obviously killed the momentum on that pass.
And I don't love that.
Well, let's see. 4th down and not long, but 4th down and about 7. Maybe a long 6 for San Juan, and they may do the short punt here again from right at midfield. Nope, Jayton Knight will drop back and look to pass. Throws over the middle, hits Owen Adams on the slant, and it's going to be enough to move the chains. I love the slant, Art, and it works right here.
And that's the play I would have ran on 3rd down, Rhett, instead of going for the home run ball, just because it hasn't been there tonight. But they dial up on 4th down. It works. Anytime you can get inside leverage as an outside one receiver, you're going to win that matchup.
So Jayton is now 7 of 14 for 82 yards in the passing game. That was a 14-yarder, and now they'll go on the ground, and Jagger Neves breaks free inside the 10-5 touchdown. San Juan, his 3rd rushing touchdown of this state championship game, and there are no flags on the field.
And if you watch the replay here, J.D. Palmer just trucked a kid, put him on his butt about 10 yards. Just watch this, Red, on this replay. Watch JD just come out there and blow that kid up.
Yeah, he may still be laying down out there. That's a 41-yard touchdown run for Jagger Neves, and that was back-to-back runs that he scored on there. Now on the night, a 25-yarder, a 12-yarder, and a 41-yarder, and 22 rushing touchdowns on the season now for the San Juan Junior. As I think, did Trip Palmer finally get a chance to add the PAT here? He did connect for his 57th of the year. Now 57 of 74 on the season, nearly 80%. And we'll see where he stands at the end of the year. There's obviously a lot of football still to go in Utah, but he's right up there among the top kickers in the state. Was 4th in the state coming in that department. So
great drive that time by San Juan, and they kind of went and did what I like to see them do. They ran JD. They softened up that defense. They're a better team when they get production out of JD, Jayton, and Jagger, and then that opens up their passing game tremendously.
As the Broncos kick it on the ground here, and now we got a big man who's waited all his life to return a kickoff here, and he gets a couple yards back to the 40. And I just want to mention also on that pass, touchdown pass to start the scoring in this game, the 37th touchdown pass for Jayton Knight, the senior quarterback. And the man who caught it, Branton Bethay, was his 10th receiving touchdown of the season. As Emery takes over now from right at their own 40 and just have not mustered anything on offense right now, down to San Juan 29-0 with 8:07 left in the first half. And they will hand off to Jackson Johnson, and he'll rattle off about 4 yards. Nah, they'll give him 5, it looks like.
Generous spot.
Yeah. 5-yard run, give or take, for Jackson Johnson, and they spot him at the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Makes it easy for us to look at the yardage. And Trevin Gilbert going to send a man in motion, and he's taking his time to mosey across the field. Deacon Mangum is that kid's name. And a lengthy delay before the snap, but now Trevin Gilbert will try to set up the screen, and San Juan is all over that. He did complete the pass to Braxton Butler, but it goes only backwards to the tune of 6-yard loss.
Yeah, Branton Bethea was not fooled at all. He was all over that play, made a great tackle, and that kid's just exciting to watch.
I tell you what, if it continues how it is right now, I don't know. I mean, obviously, if it continues like it is right now, the Broncos aren't going to have to play a whole 4 quarters here tonight. But, man, the defensive stats right now are just incredible. The Broncos, and we'll have to get it officially at halftime, but really you're talking about around 30 yards of total offense right now for the Emery Spartans. And, boy, that was a fortuitous bounce that's going to increase the yardage. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it. That thing bounced into the hands of Porter Herdsman, who was not intended on the play, and goes all the way down to the 40.
Yeah, the first receiver was well covered, and the Broncos able to go up and tip that, but it bounces, just like you said, right to the other receiver for the Emery Spartans, and sure hands, he catches it and gets first down.
Yeah, that's the longest play of the evening by far for the Emery offense, a 21-yard pass. And now Emery, Trevin Gilbert will look to throw again, and this time overshoots his intended receiver on the far side. And that's pretty much been the way it has gone tonight for Trevin Gilbert, other than that most recent completion. That makes him now, let's see, 9 of 19 on the evening.
Yeah, Montella had good coverage out there, but definitely if the ball would have been placed correctly, that was a catch that young man could have made. So San Juan escapes with a big play there.
And it is a 2nd down and 10 following the incompletion at the San Juan 40. They'll try to set up a wide receiver screen over here, and the Broncos pouring through the blocks over here, and they get the open field tackle right at the 40 for no gain. Trip Palmer was there, along with number 6 for San Juan, George McNaughton, and a couple other Broncos were in there as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've talked about throughout the season. I talked to Coach Bowering in the preseason that he loved about this defensive unit is how they rally to the ball, and they just hustle all the time. And you see that on that type of play.
And that was a 0-yard catch, so 3rd down and 10, still at the San Juan 40. Little hard count from Gilbert. Now they'll snap it. He'll look down the middle of the field, had a little bit of protection, and that goes in and out of the hands of Trip Palmer. He thought he had his 6th interception of the season and 2nd of the day, and he probably should have had that one. It was right to him.
Yeah, that could have been a heck of an interception because he was going down with all of his 6'3", 6'4" frame on that diving catch and just unable to get it.
So the incompletion makes it 4th. First of all, is a huge break for Emery, and second of all makes it 4th down for Emery, but they're going to go for it here inside San Juan territory as Gilbert sends a man in motion. And now he will roll out that direction to his left, has pressure, throws complete, but it's going to be a loss of a yard on the catch. And that will be a turnover on downs back to San Juan.
Yeah, great pressure there by San Juan. 5:49 left here in the second. San Juan up 29-0 here in this game. And great 4th down play, great pressure, 2 guys in the backfield, making the quarterback make a quick decision, and great coverage too as well if the pass is caught.
Yeah, San Juan dominating right now, up by 4 touchdowns. I'm sorry, it is 4 touchdowns now, and there's a handoff up the middle for San Juan, but J.D. Palmer doesn't go anywhere, just back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd down and 10 for the Broncos. And again, San Juan has been going no huddle all year long. They continue that here. No reason to change that, obviously. It gives defenses fits. They get guys out to block for Owen Adams, who makes the catch. He's going to pick up a 1st down and more. And I think, did the ball go on the turf here, but San Juan recovers.
Yeah, Jake Ivins there. Jake Ivins was looking to block and sees the ball pop out, and he immediately pounces on that thing. Good recognition there by Ivins to get that ball after a good pickup by Montella.
Yeah, that is a 19-yard pass. I thought it was Owen Adams.
Owen Adams.
And now I didn't see who this goes to over on the far side. That may be Montella.
This is Montella.
Yeah, it is Montella.
I was
Boy,
just a little ahead of the game.
You're like a futurist, my man. You are clairvoyant. And number 22 loses 2, and it's 2nd down and 12. So a lot of 2s in that. And Jake Knight will throw quickly to the left side, and this ball incomplete. Knocked away from Owen Adams that time. And so the incompletion makes it 3rd down and more than 10 yards to go.
Yeah, and when you're a high high-powered, high-rifle offense like San Juan is, and you're throwing the ball a lot, it's going to seem like you don't use a lot of the clock here. As we come up in 4:48 now, and the clock is stopped. That's just what happens when you're passing the ball and you're not completing passes.
Knight will roll out. They're going to try to set up the screen this time. They have it. The ball floated a little bit, but now J.D. Palmer has it and a little speed. But, boy, if Knight had not floated that so much, I think Palmer would have been gone, but he was caught up, too, from behind right there at the 30.
Yeah, number 21 for Emery. He's able to chase him down, ankle tackle, which saves that first down by a yard. Yeah,
that was a 10-yard play to J.D. Palmer on the catch, and now what do we have here? First down for San Juan. It looks like Jayton Knight on the run himself gets 3, and that's enough to move the chains inside the Emery 30. Boy, they move so fast, sometimes I have a hard time keeping up. And they'll go again in a hurry as J.D. Palmer takes this handoff, and not much. Maybe a half yard or so on that run.
Yeah, 68 there for Travis Hurst for the Spartans. Able to get that leverage on it on the offensive line for San Juan, able to fill the gap quick.
Now Jayton Knight will run the run-pass option, or maybe just the straight option that time. Ran into a Emery defender, so had to cut it up inside and gets only a yard.
Yeah, the option play right there by San Juan, and that end for Emery played that perfectly. He came up, stepped in the gap to where Jayton had to cut it in, and unfortunately for Jayton, the defensive tackle was right there. Just a great play by the defensive front for Emery.
And Jayton Knight will throw this time into the corner of the end zone. That's the play that was caught with the miraculous catch last week. But this time it's out of bounds, they say. He targeted Montella again, and this time it's incomplete. He, not surprisingly, makes the catch. He's going to make the catch, but it's just out of bounds this time.
And it was contested the whole time. Both players went up for that. It was a great pass, great catch, but unfortunately probably 6 inches too long out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think Montella catches as well unless someone's all in his face and it's a circus catch. Now Jayton Knight tries to connect with Jake Ivins, and he does right at the sticks. It looks like it's going to be just enough to move the chains and convert fourth down.
Yeah, not a good pass by Jayton as that kind of floated, and Jake has to dive for that, and luckily he was past the sticks by a couple of inches.
So 1st and 10 for San Juan in the red zone now as Knight throws complete over the middle. And down inside the 10, Branton Bethea goes to the 9, and that should be 1st and goal, I believe.
I think they're going to say it's 2nd here and 1.
All right.
29-0 still, 3 minutes left in the second quarter here. San Juan looking to add more points before halftime.
That's a 9-yard play right there to Branton Bethea. And we'll see what they do. They go back to the ground here, and a couple yards ahead goes J.D. Palmer to the 7.
Again, just the line up front just breaks down on their blocking assignments, and big number 76, the nose tackle, is in the backfield before J.D. gets the handoff.
And they're quickly to the line of scrimmage with wide receivers 2 on each side as they spread the field here. Jayton Knight doesn't hand off. Throws on the slant, complete to Branton Bethea. San Juan touchdown. And so they add the touchdown and make it 35-0 with 2:32 still to go in this first half. So
it's your favorite route right there again.
Yeah, I love the slant. It's going to work almost every time, and this time Jayton Knight connects with Branton Bethea for I think, what was that, a 7-yarder. And the second touchdown pass for the senior quarterback on the day. Makes it 35-0. Trip Palmer pushes the PAT wide right, so that's unfortunate for the Bronco Junior, but he may have another opportunity before this is all said and done. As San Juan makes it 35-0, and so unless Emery can add points here or can get points, it will be a running clock to start the second half. So this time San Juan has come out and just dominated this one. As far as the scoreboard goes, there have been some scoreless possessions, but San Juan's defense has been absolutely stifling Emery in this one, Art.
Yeah, it's been a great game. A couple of things that they're probably going to have to talk about at halftime. The passing game has been there a few plays, but for the most part, it's been hit or miss. And so they're going to have to figure out what they need to do. And I really think going for the deep ball is great, and it's exciting, and the fans get off their seat, and they're, oh, yeah, and when it's an awesome catch, a 1-foot tap in the end zone, we all love it. But I'm a fan of the, 10, 15-yarders, just march that ball down the field, and it's more successful pass options too.
Well, we'll get to it here in just a second on the stats. Did the ball come free there? No, the Broncos just pin Emery inside their own 20 with the kick coverage there, but Jayton Knight has thrown 2 touchdown passes this evening for his 37th and 38th of the season. Branton Bethea caught them both. He now has 11 receptions on the season for a score, and San Juan is on their way to their 4th straight state championship, up 35-0 over Emery here with just over 2 minutes to go in this first half tonight. And Emery starting inside their own 20 here as Gilbert takes a snap in the backfield, hands off. Running back's going to maybe get a couple off left guard, and a scrum down there with a lot of players wearing both color jerseys.
I think he just barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage. Jayton Knight had a hold of him 2 yards deep past the line of scrimmage, but he's able to wiggle his way forward. But great penetration there by Jayton, and just a heck of a run to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 0-yard run for Ty Yost, and we'll see what Trevin Gilbert does here on second down. Throws it up, and it's over the top of his intended receiver, but a flag is there against Jake Ivins in the coverage. So this is going to, I believe, give Emery a first down out across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunate for Jake on that play. It was so quick developing that his receiver turns around in his face, and Jake does not have time to stop his momentum, and he gets into the receiver. In high school football, you don't have to turn around anymore. You can face guard, but unfortunately you can't run into the guy, and you have to give him the option to come back to the ball as well. So just a bad situation there for Jake. You can't avoid that all the time.
So the penalty gives Emery a first down, and it is at the 33-yard line. San Juan gets to the quarterback again and forces an incomplete pass. There's a late flag here. This is either going to be intentional grounding or, yeah, I would assume that.
100%. He was in the clutches of a sack. There's no receiver. He's in the pocket. That's an intentional grounding, 10 out of 10.
So that's going to take that penalty yardage back away. I'm guessing, Art, that's a loss of down as well, so it should be
Yes.
second down and long here. And an incomplete pass also against Trevin Gilbert, I believe. So it continues to get worse for Emery here. And this may be a spot foul as well, so it's going to go way back.
Number 21 for Emery's trying to convince him. I was in the vicinity. I was around. But he wasn't. I mean,
I was within 30 yards.
Yeah, there was no receiver in the area.
I was on the field, he says. I was there. Well, we'll see. Are they going to wave it off? Oh, they are going to see off. Wow.
I'd like to see the replay, but obviously number 21, he
convinced him.
Talked him out of it, and I was watching.
That kid should be a lawyer, man.
Yeah, I didn't see him anywhere near the play.
2nd and 10 for the Emery Spartans. Hey, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt, man. They're down 35-0 here. 1:48 to go in this first half. Gilbert gets a break right there, as do the Spartans, and a 2nd down and 10 here now from the 33 for Emery, who have just had no success really offensively today against this San Juan D. And another incomplete pass here for Gilbert. Good coverage downfield by Josiah LaPalmer that time. And so back-to-back incompletions. Gilbert falls to 10 of 24 on the day.
Maybe replay does show that he was a little closer than I thought, but I still thought it was an intentional grounding.
I appreciate the humility, Art.
Last game of the season, Rhett, we all got to do our part.
There you go. Gilbert rolls out this time, has a little bit of protection, throws. What a catch over here on the sideline by number 12. His first touch of the day, Deacon Mangum. He was the man who went in motion. That's a big gain out across midfield into San Juan territory. I'll have to see where that one started from to gauge the yardage on that. The replay's a little bit late here as we're getting on the replay a close. It looks like that came from the 33, so I'll have to count that. That's 18 yards on that play. So that's one of the better completions today for Trevin Gilbert. In fact, the only other one was that 21-yarder that bounced, deflected into a receiver's hands. Now Gilbert, to save his own life, airs this one downfield, and it is through the hands of the diving receiver and incomplete. It was intended for Hayden Abrams, who made a nice effort but couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, Josiah LaPalmer out there in coverage, and he's a really good cover guy. but that time he gets a little turned around and then peeks in the backfield to see if the quarterback still had the ball, if it was a run play, and he gives that separation by about 2 yards, and receiver almost comes up with that catch.
Yeah, that would have put Emery down inside the San Juan red zone for the first time today, but it's not to be. Now Jayton Knight gets in, and this ball is still live and incomplete finally, as that was the weirdest bounce of all time. Jayton Knight hammered the quarterback, first of all, as he was throwing. That went off someone's back, bounced off a chest of someone laying down, and then was that Cash Palmer who couldn't bring it in? I didn't see who was fighting for that. They were fighting for that thing down there.
It was off. I was going to say it's illegal touching here. It's going to hit. It's going to hit number 60, their lineman first.
So that's going to be.
And so you can't. I mean, it was thrown right at you, and it's a loss of down here. But
nothing you can do.
You can't do anything as the lineman because your quarterback hit you with that ball. But it's going to be a penalty every time because you cannot touch it.
Yeah, well, it's just a continued testament to the San Juan D and the quarterback hurries that we talked about. That time it was Trevin Gilbert's counterpart, Jayton Knight. San Juan's quarterback was coming in to lay the wood on him, and, man, he threw it to save his life, and that's kind of been the story for Gilbert today. Hasn't had time. The Bronco defense getting in there all night long so far and forcing those bad passes.
Emery brings on the punt team last minute here.
And this ball is going to take a beautiful Emery bounce right down the sideline to the 11. What a punt. I think it's number 15 punting, Jaden Atwood. Speaking of laying the wood, and he'll saunter off on the far side of the field over there, feeling proud of himself. But his team is down to the three-time defending state champions, 35-0, as San Juan leads it large here with 1:15 to go in the half. And we know this Bronco offense is not going to take it easy here. They're going to try to add points to close out this half.
They're already empty set, trips left, doubles right. So, this is their passing formation for sure.
Starting from their own 11, they don't care. That's just a chance to pad the stats here. As Jayton Knight will take it himself on the QB draw. They get the QB out in space, and he's going to dive ahead all the way to the Emery 38-yard line. What a run from the quarterback.
And I'm sure that Emery thought the same thing I was. Hey, they go empty set here. They're going to throw this ball, and one step back, and then Jayton just up the seam for a huge first down, which puts your playbook's a lot more open here to hit the end zone.
27-yard run for the quarterback, and now he throws complete to the far side to Branton Bethea, who takes the ball out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 59 seconds to go, and San Juan has a second down and 4. 6-yard pass from Knight to Branton Bethea, and the Broncos marching here late in the first half, already up 35-0. Knight finds Jake Ivins this time, who slips a tackle, and he will slide out of bounds with another San Juan first down around the 40, and a very late flag here. So that might go, that's at the area of the San Juan sideline. So
it's going to be a player, and I'm not going to call him out, but it's going to be a player on San Juan sidelines for a personal foul after the end of the play. He's on the sidelines, and he either said something or did something at the end of this play. If you're watching the replay, you'll be able to see who it is. But great job by, he said something to him, leaned in and said something, and the referee was right there. Not a smart move.
It was Jake Ivins on the catch, right?
Yes, Jake. And way to put your – if you're Jake, he gets tripped up, but way to get your hand down in the dirt around the 50 to keep your upright momentum going and pick up that extra yardage, which now didn't mean a thing because you have a player on the sidelines that wants to get involved in the play when you should just keep your mouth shut.
Well, it was a 15-yard catch by Jake Ivins, 15-yard pass for Jayton Knight, and gave San Juan a first down, but now they move it back into Bronco territory at the 45 with the penalty. And now Jayton Knight throws it downfield a little bit off the mark, intended for Ivins again. Incompletion stops the clock with 48 seconds to go, second down and 10.
And he is throwing into a pretty stiff breeze there. But, he had Jagger on that inside seam, and he had separation from his defender. If he can put that on the money like we've seen most of this season, that may go for 6 there right here at the end of the first half.
Well, Jayton Knight now will send Jagger Neves to his right as the Broncos spread the field again, and now he'll air it out again and has a man that's defended off the back of the defender. So, again, the wind just knocking these passes down a little bit with the Broncos heading into it here in the second quarter. That'll be another incompletion, 3rd down and 10 at the 45.
And now if you're San Juan, I'm a conservative guy by nature here coaching football. You're 41 seconds left in this half. I don't want to give the ball back so I run the quarterback draw here to get the clock moving.
On 3rd down and 10, Knight will drop back the pass. They didn't listen to you, buddy. They're going to throw it complete on the left side. The clock will run as Owen Adams was unable to get out of bounds. It'll be 4th down. That was a 9-yard pass.
But, hey, it's a safer pass than going deep down the field. It's that comeback route to Adams, which is successful.
Broncos, of course, are not going to call a timeout. Yes, now they are.
Proving us all wrong.
So a little bit late on the timeout there, but now down to 17 seconds to go. I'm guessing the Broncos will take a couple shots downfield here, trying to add a touchdown late in this half.
Yeah, and if you're San Juan, you've got to draw up this has got to be one of two of your best offensive passing route series, whether it's trips to one side, solo, and get somebody in space, give them an opportunity to make a play on the ball. But the way the ball has been thrown around today, it's been off. It feels like it's been off.
Both teams, yeah.
A lot of passes that go awry that typically don't, and it could be because of the cold, could be because of the weather, could be because of the big game. You don't know. I mean, it's a lot of factors coming into a championship game. But, wow, just a lot of passes that you think, oh, man, that's going to go for big, and then the pass is just a little bit short, a little bit long, and there's a lot of factors. You like to play this game in 75 degrees and no breeze, but not what we got tonight.
Well, 4th down and 1, Jayton Knight. Well, they're not just going for one right here. Knight's going to heave one downfield, and it's defended at the last moment and knocked away from Owen Adams, incomplete, and so that will be a turnover on downs back to Emery at the 45. Boy, Knight had really all day, and almost like you're playing in your backyard. He had to call Owen Adams back over to help him out and nearly connected with him there.
Yeah, and again, just run that ball out and run the clock out, 9 seconds left, because you don't want to give Emery a chance to score here. So defensively, you're going to see Coach Bowering drop back into his cover 4 defense here and just tell his guys, hey, anything in front of you, that's fine. Keep them in bounds, make the tackle. Emery does still have 1 timeout, so they can stop the clock. But 9 seconds, usually 1 play.
So we'll see what Trevin Gilbert can do here for the Emery Spartans on most likely the last play of the half. He'll throw short and actually gets a man out of bounds. So there will be one other play, only 1 second off the clock that time. I can't believe that.
Did that clock start on time?
No, it definitely did not.
I mean, I don't see how you only get 1 second off the clock here.
And Coach Christensen is down there making his displeasure known, and that should easily have been 5 or more seconds off.
The back judge is coming in. He keeps a clock on the field as well. So they're going to come in and maybe talk about this and say, hey, you should have started that clock a little sooner.
Yeah, they're going to have him reset the clock. 4 seconds is what it's going to be. That's a little bit more reasonable to me. I told you 5 seconds at least. So,
I mean, I've done push-ups before, and I can usually get about a second, and I know that's not that long. So that was a long second in my mind.
Oh, my goodness.
Which turns out to be 5.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for Emery on the pass. With all the hubbub, I forgot to mark that stat. That would really up Emery's stats. They're going to throw complete again, and stepping out of bounds this time with no time on the clock is number 33. And I've got the wrong sheet up, but that's Braxton Butler. So 2 reasonable passes there for Emery to stop or to end the half. They think they have 1 second left on the clock, but I don't think so this time. We'll see.
No, I was watching the clock, and it hit 0 when he caught the ball and was still en route. So by the time he went out of bounds, that half was over.
I think it was probably a 20-yard pass, and the previous one I think was probably 12. So 2 of the biggest passes of the half come right there at the end with time expiring, and we head to halftime with the San Juan Broncos well on their way to their 4th straight state championship at the 2A classification in the state of Utah. They're up 35-0 through the first 24 minutes of play. We'll take a break and we'll return to Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. It's Friday Night Lights on a Saturday evening on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
For over 75 years, San Juan Health has strived to be the best place to receive medical care in southeastern Utah. With clinics in Blanding, Monticello, and Spanish Valley, San Juan Health offers a wide variety of services and world-class care close to home. Visit SanJuanHealth.org today to find out more. San Juan Health, chasing perfection since 1947.
You don't have to be sidelined by sports injuries in San Juan County. Precision Rehab provides physical therapy in Monticello and Blanding, as well as Montezuma Creek and Monument Valley, where our therapists have helped athletes of all ages get back in the game since 1996. Precision Rehab is dedicated to restoring you and your loved ones to peak performance when pain and injury slow you down. We offer innovative, effective treatments that make a difference. Treatment is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Call 435-678-3869 for an appointment. That's 435-678-3869. Or find out more at PrecisionRehabUtah.com.
Here at Lyle Northern Electric, we take pride in our highly qualified team, dedicated to serving our community. Whether you need commercial, residential, or solar electrical services, our certified experts are ready to meet your needs. We are proud to support our community, especially our youth and high school athletics. Lyle Northern Electric, serving our community since 1957.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Looking to buy, sell, or refinance your home or property? Ask for the professionals at Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency. Anderson Oliver Title has provided title insurance and real estate closing services in San Juan and Grand counties for 25 years. Anderson Oliver Title isn't just another out-of-town company. It's the only locally owned and operated title company in southeastern Utah. The owners and employees at Anderson Oliver Title are excited to support our communities and are proud to support high school athletics and activities.
Monson's Quality Meat Processing in Blanding provides processing for both wild and domestic animals. They also carry USDA choice steaks, ground beef, and 14 unique flavors of handmade bratwurst. Monson specializes in friendly service, the highest quality products, and flexible timing, all at a competitive price. That's Monson's Quality Meat Processing at 885 East Pinion Ridge Road in Blanding. Call 435-459-1401 or find them on Facebook.
Utah is our home, unique in its strengths and struggles. And sadly, suicide in Utah is one of our greatest challenges. So people across the state are coming together to answer the call, to change our culture around suicide and mental health, to give hope and provide genuine help. Together, we can get through, lift up, look ahead, and live on. Learn how you can reach out at liveonutah.org.
Welcome back live to Friday Night Lights on a Saturday evening on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. as the San Juan Broncos, looking for their 4th straight state championship, lead the Emery Spartans 35-0 at halftime. So they are well on their way to winning their 4th straight state championship. They would become just the 8th team to do it in state history, and that goes all the way back to 1898, folks. There is a little bit of a discrepancy. I don't know the difference between the leagues back in the day, but there is one team that is listed as having won 8 in a row back in from 1898 to 1905. That was West Salt Lake, but George Felt does not include them in the list, so there are 6 teams in his list who have won at least 4 consecutive championship games. East and Skyline both won 5 in a row, while Duchesne, Millard, Orem, and Tempview captured 4 straight. So San Juan is trying to become the 5th team to do at least 4 straight, become the 8th team to take 4 straight here tonight, and obviously well on their way, as we've already said. We've got some first half stats for you, and we'll start it off offensively with the San Juan Broncos. And Jayton Knight, 16 of 26 unofficially in that first half for 166 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Both of those caught by Branton Bethea, who has 64 yards on 7 catches in that first half. Jake Ivins, 59 yards on 5 catches. Owen Adams, 20 yards on 1 catch. J.D. Palmer, 10 yards on 1 catch as well. In the running game, it's Jagger Needs leading the way. What a great game for him in that first half. 110 yards on 7 carries and 3 rushing touchdowns. So he has 22 on the year now. And pretty impressive running from the San Juan Junior in that first half. As far as the senior goes, J.D. Palmer, 18 hard-earned yards on 7 carries in the first half. Jayton Knight has 34 yards on 6 carries. So the Broncos with 162 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, 166 yards passing in the first half, and 2 TDs. And really, I think, Art, the story in that first half to me, obviously the Bronco offense is getting it done, but the defense is really demoralizing Emery. They allowed just 123 total yards of offense in that first half.
Yeah, but at the same time, third down conversions have been killers for the Broncos, and that's why we've had a punt and turnover on 2 downs, and they've been able to make up for it a little bit in the 4th down conversions, but they're 1 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. They're 4 of 6 on 4th down. So I'm sure that's going to be something they talk about a lot at halftime, how to convert on 3rd down. And some of those 3rd downs have been pretty long 3rd downs as well, so you get it manageable at the 4th down. The other side of the coin, both teams have 4 penalties on them. San Juan, 40 yards in penalties versus Emery's 20, 30 yards. So, but when you score 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns, I guess 3rd downs don't really matter.
And I'm going to tell you, we can trust these stats tonight because you are not doing those tonight.
Right. I'm not doing them, so we thank my son Tuff for sitting up here and doing my stats because I get to worked up in the game.
Yeah.
So.
Eventually, like halfway through the first half, you just stop keeping the rights. You just start putting numbers down.
Yep.
All right, well, it is a 35-0 halftime lead for the San Juan Broncos on the way to their 4th straight state championship. Still a second half to be played, but it's going to begin with a running clock. We'll take another break. We'll come back out with some scores. It's state championship weekend. A lot of state playoffs going on all around our listening area. 3 teams still in action, including ours. So we'll detail you on everything that has gone on today. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on a Saturday evening from Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University, the 2A state championship game on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
No matter what you've got planned for the weekend, a home makeover, a landscaping project, a backyard barbecue, your neighbors at Red's Ace Hardware in Blanding have what you need. You'll find great buys on paint, tools, and yard and garden supplies. Not to mention grills, patio furniture, and pool care essentials. We carry top brands like Clark & Kensington, Craftsman, Scotts & Weber, and our helpful associates can answer all your questions. For national brands and local expertise, you can always count on Red's Ace Hardware.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Desert Rivers Credit Union is proud to team up with the communities in our corner of the state. A nationwide network of ATMs and branches, full line of mortgage products, local decision making, low fees, and great rates for every credit score are just a few of the things we bring to the team. And to top it off, we are for people, not profit. Come by and meet our team at one of our 4 branch locations or visit DesertRiverCU.com. We love our communities and are proud to support our youth.
Here at Utah Navajo Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve your quality of life through comprehensive, self-empowered, culturally sensitive, and amazing customer service.
Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is the Four Corners source for high-quality custom residential and commercial cabinetry for over 50 years. They specialize in designing beautiful, long-lasting cabinetry and countertops tailored to your specific need, and they offer competitive pricing. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is family-owned and operated. Call them today for a free quote, 435-678-2523. Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage is a proud sponsor of San Juan High School sports.
San Juan County Adult Education empowers students to gain the technical, business, or college skills necessary to enter the workforce. At San Juan County Adult Education, adult learners are given the opportunity to reach their personal, educational, and career goals. Students can earn a high school diploma, obtain a GED, increase their wage earning potential, and decrease barriers to self-reliance. To learn more, visit any USU Learning Center in San Juan County or email Gina Grover at jgrover@sjsd.org.
Welcome back live to Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live one final time this season, and it is not a Friday, obviously, Saturday evening game. It is the 2A Utah State Championship game, and the San Juan Broncos, 3-time defending champions, lead the Emery Spartans 35-0 as we get set to head into the second half of play this evening. And it will begin under running clock rules. Other state championship game going on today. Of course, our first broadcast of the day began at 10 a.m. And the Monticello Buckaroos suffering a 50-14 loss to Rich. And so for the third year in a row, Monticello making an appearance in the state championship game, but suffering a tough loss to Rich in back-to-back seasons now. And so the Rich Rebels, the 8-player state champion, and then Beaver had their way with Kanab in the 1A state championship game just prior to ours. We had to wait for the Beaver coaching staff to vacate our room and their video crew. Boy, they had a huge video crew here just for the coaches, and they normally do the streaming, but of course none of us have the rights once KSL and TeamHive.Live hop in these last couple games. But so Beaver victorious in the 1A state championship, and then, of course, San Juan right now is leading handily over Emery in the 2A state championship. And then over in Colorado, Mancos advancing to the state semifinals in the 8-man league. They are the defending champions over there, ranked number 4 in their state tournament bracket, and they beat Byers this afternoon 44-20. Number 1 ranked Haxton crushed Sanford 54-8, and that sets up a meeting between those two teams next weekend, and that will be a battle as number 4 Mancos advances to the semifinals for the second straight year and looks to win their second straight state championship, but they go up against number 1 Haxton next weekend. So we'll be keeping tabs on that one as well. We'll keep you updated after tonight. That's going to be the last standing active team among fall sports teams in the Red Rock 92 listening area. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live is brought to you in part tonight. Well, let me find my sheet here. I think I've placed it in some weird place, but brought to you tonight in part by Flights Gymnastics, a proud supporter of local sports and a great start for your kids. Also, Four Corners Regional Care Center, a skilled nursing and rehab facility in a caring setting. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life in the Intermountain West. Napa Motor Parts, get everything you need in Blanding and Monticello. Pick a Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, offering a wide variety of quality customized products. Primary Residential Mortgage, with 30 years of know-how, they'll structure the best deal for you. And San Juan Pharmacy, serving San Juan County and supporting local teams for decades. And a big thanks to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible all season long. Regardless of what happens here tonight, this will obviously be our final Friday Night Lights broadcast of this season. And then we'll be heading into basketball here in the next few weeks. So, yeah, it's a fun one, Art. Championship Saturday as we're deciding it all here on the SUU campus this evening. Eccles Coliseum here. Fun atmosphere. Turned into a beautiful evening after a snowy day. And there's snow on the perimeters of this field. And this has obviously been a fun one so far for San Juan, who are dominating.
Yeah, good game so far. It's like you said, Red, it's turned out to be, it is quite chilly. And there is a little bit of a wind, but other than that, it's turned out to be better than what's expected, especially I sat through those first two games, and snow flurries off and on through both of those games. So couldn't ask for a better time in November in Cedar City, Utah.
Yeah, and unless there's some sort of massive miracle as that ball gets illegally touched by Emery as they try the onside kick here.
They were offsides.
They were offside and I think touched it when it only went 9 yards, and so that'll be coming back, and they'll try that again. But, Art, I think apparently it looks like the only game that may be exciting here tonight on this field will be that Richfield game as they go for 26 wins in a row and 2 state championships in a row, and that'll be a battle tonight after our game among a couple of undefeated teams in the 3A ranks. That should be a fun one tonight, I think.
Yeah, that Morgan team that they're going to face is no joke. They are a tough-nosed, well-coached team, and if you're asking me for my prediction, I love Richfield, and I have a lot of friends there. I coached against their coach when he was on his first stint there. Great guy, but I'm going to have to give the edge to Morgan in that game, and I hope I'm wrong.
Well, all the other games have not really been close here today, so San Juan trying to complete that. Now the Broncos having trouble returning the opening kick of the third quarter, and Jagger Neves, though, weaves his way through traffic and is going to make something out of nothing as he carries this all the way out to the 27-yard line. And, I mean, when it's your game, and he's just taking it right now for San Juan.
Yeah, and we've seen that all night between the two teams that previously have won. It seems like the ball just bounces their way, and they don't get the bad breaks. And right there, Jagger goes up to get that ball. It goes through his hands and then bounces, and that could have been disaster, and he's able to pick up 20-something yards. Great return.
So that sets San Juan up at their own 27-yard line. Jayton Knight, little play action in the backfield. Now pass is complete to Jagger Neves out of the backfield, and he'll rumble it downfield all the way to the 48.
Great run there by Jagger to get upfield, and great block up there by Jake Ivins as he's engaged from his wide receiver slot position.
That's a 21-yard pass to start the second half for the San Juan offense as they pick up right where they left off. That's the first catch of the night for Jagger Neves. And now Jake Ivins, will get this catch, and that'll go for 8 yards right up the middle. On the slant again, or maybe that was just kind of the slide across the middle of the field there.
Oh, that was your quick slant. That's Jake's bread and butter play.
I love
right
it.
There. He comes across. He's tough-nosed.
I love that. And so 8 yards real quick for Jake Ivins. Now Jayton Knight will keep it himself on a play action and throw to J.D. Palmer out of the backfield, and he'll get a bunch of yardage. That play initiated somewhere around the 45, so 10 and maybe 14. No, 10. It looks like an 11-yard pass to J.D. Palmer. His second catch of the night.
To tell you, this game comes down to how we think it's going to with the victory for San Juan. This is a great birthday present for head coach Barkley Christensen's mother, Callie Christensen. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday to her. She's in the suite
right
next to us.
Right down the hall, that's right. San Juan, no yardage on this run here. And it looks like it was J.D. Palmer on the carry that time for San Juan. So Palmer hasn't had a whole lot of fortune tonight in the running game. Jagger Neves is stealing all his yardage, Art. Second down and 10 for San Juan at the Emery 35-yard line. And speaking of Jagger, he's going to take it again. Bounce to the outside. Inside the 20 he goes. Out of bounds at the 19. They say he stayed in bounds, though, and that's a 13-yard pickup.
Great read on that RPO by Jayton to hand that ball off and not keep it as his read man was dialing his number up. And just great job there. And something they've been fantastic at all year is just making the correct reads on those RPOs.
And Knight from the shotgun hands off to J.D. Palmer. And he'll bounce it outside the tackle on the right side, inside the 15-yard line, or right at the 15-yard line. That's a pickup of 6 yards, I believe, for San Juan. And we'll bring up a second down. Tough to tell when they're on that end of the field. I don't know why the chains are so far away from the sideline over there. That's killing me. And Jayton Knight now drops back, has time, steps up into the pocket, lobs it up into the end zone. That was a 500 ball, and it's caught in the end zone, but they're going to throw flags. They're going to say it was incomplete, I guess.
Yep, that called incomplete, but there is going to be a pass interference, I believe, on Emery.
Maybe. We'll see. Both players were wrestling each other for sure. We'll see what they call.
Watch this replay here. Well, they're a play behind.
Yeah, we're a bit behind on the stream. It's on the defense, so we've got the windows cracked here in our booth, so we can, if we don't talk, we can hear what's being announced out there. And that will move San Juan half the distance to the goal line, and it's a 1st and goal by virtue of the penalty. So San Juan has the ball down at the Emery 7-yard line now with a 1st and goal. And Jayton Knight in that kind of pro set back there will hand off to J.D. Palmer. Makes no mistake, rumbles in from 7 yards out for his first rushing touchdown of the evening and his 13th of the season.
Great little play call there out of that shotgun pro, and so happy for J.D. to get that touchdown. You know, a lot of times he's the workhorse in between the 20s, and just a great job there by his offensive line to make sure he gets in the end zone, and great hard running by J.D.
And that puts San Juan up 41-0.
Missed it.
And the PAT is off, so we probably talked too much about Trip Palmer and his statewide stats. He's 1 of 3 on the night. They didn't even give him an opportunity on 3 of these touchdowns here tonight as they were going for 2 points. But he's got 1 of them tonight, so he's now 57 of 76 on the season. And he was up in the top 5 in the state on PATs coming into this game. So 41-0 for San Juan, 8:31 to go in the third quarter. And again, a running clock scenario now as San Juan is headed downhill on the way toward their 4th straight state championship. And are set to kick it away from their own 40 right here. And Trip Palmer will do the honors there. And if you're just joining us, there were a couple of scoreless possessions early in the game from both teams. San Juan opened up a 14-0 lead finally, and that's after that they had a couple of scoreless possessions, and so it slowed down for a little bit in a stalemate type of situation. But since that time, San Juan has pretty much scored at will, and it's looking like the games have all season against 2A opponents for the San Juan Broncos.
Good tackle there by Cole Duke on that special teams unit to thwart any uphill movement there by the Emery Spartans. And if you're San Juan's defense, don't let down right here. Don't rest on your 41-point lead here. Keep playing football.
And Emery goes to the ground on 1st down. Not much.
It's McNaughton in there on that one.
And the ball carrier was Jackson Johnson for Emery, and maybe a yard for the senior. So he has 14 yards on the night. And again, in that first half, San Juan holding Emery to 123 total yards of offense unofficially. And the defense really shutting Emery down in that first half, and not expecting anything less here as the receiver here for Emery slips down in the pattern, and so that will sail out of bounds incomplete right here, bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, unfortunate for the receiver there. He gets into his route and his comeback, and he's just not able to keep his footing.
And so clock running, of course, running clock rules here, down to 7:20 to go in the third quarter, and the Broncos up 41-0. And a 3rd down and 9 here for Emery. I mean, I'd have to say at this point in the game, everything would need to be 4-down territory for this team as Gilbert does a kind of a weird rollout in the backfield and ends up throwing incomplete on the left side. That probably should have been caught, but unable to pull that in was Braxton Butler.
Jordan Duke out there in coverage, and yeah, just that reverse rollout there that a lot of teams like to do, to try to get that offside receiver open. You try to get your safeties and your linebackers to take that lead step to the offside, and then you come back with the rollout and just not able to get it there, and not enough time either, as San Juan had good pressure.
And Emery will actually punt this ball away. They were deep in their own territory, so I guess that's the standard play. And it's going to be caught and downed at the 39 of San Juan. And we'll see who comes out here for the Broncos now on offense, as they are up 41-0. Running clock here for the remainder of the game. 6:42 to go in this third quarter. J.D. Palmer's out there. Jagger Neves is coming out. Jake Ivins. So it looks like for the meantime we got the starters, and indeed Jayton Knight will be coming out on the field for the Broncos at the QB position. So keeping the starters out here in the state championship game.
Yeah, I'd keep them out there at least till the fourth quarter if it was me, just because it's the last game of the season. And
yeah.
You know what? So you go out, you run your RPOs, and if you score a touchdown on a pass, you score a touchdown on a pass. You know, it's Emery's objective to stop you, not yours.
And Knight will hand off, and off tackle, way off tackle here. Jake Ivins taking a handoff. I'm going to have to put him on the sheet now. What the heck?
Trying to throw a curveball at you.
I got him up here. Got him up here in the passing, and now that messes up my whole stat sheet.
And they're only running for one play as he comes out now. They put Jagger back in.
Ridiculous. 6-yard run for Jake Ivins out of nowhere. That'll be his only carry all game, I'm sure. They love doing it to me here. It's that Jagger Neves. That's the man who normally has been carrying today, and he's not going to get to the outside this time as they track him down. No gain on the run that time for the San Juan Junior, who's had a great game today.
And the Emery defense continues to play hard here, and that's what you want to see out of your team. Down big, you just want to play all 4 quarters and make this your last best effort.
It's a 3rd down and 5 for San Juan as Knight throws complete to Jake Ivins as they go back to the standard connection between those two players here, and maybe 3 on that one, and it'll be a 4th down for San Juan here. What does the matrix say on this? 4th down on your own side of midfield.
It says punt it, but Coach Christensen is.
He never does. And Jayton Knight will throw incomplete to the near side, intended for Owen Adams, and so that'll be a turnover on downs. It was a 3-yard pass on the previous play. I'm going to have to mark some stats down here. That was to Jake Ivins. And then the incompletion.
Nothing with the San Juan team is very conventional. And I think that's why they've had so much success, is because they just do it their way. Because typically you have this big lead right here. You're going to run the ball, run the clock, and they're still going fast, hurry up, throwing the ball, going for it on 4th. That's just that's their style, and you got to be true to who you are, and that's why they're successful.
And Jayton Knight, 21, as Emery throws incomplete on this play. Nice sportsmanship as the San Juan players who killed the quarterback help him up off the turf there. And but Jayton Knight now, after that series, moved to 21 of 32 on the evening, 218 yards and 2 touchdown passes so far. Trevin Gilbert throwing incomplete here, and we're winding it down under 4.5 to go in this third quarter. San Juan up 41-0 in the 2A state championship game, as Gilbert will go to the ground this time, handing off, and some player was absolutely thrashed down there to the turf. And San Juan defense pretty pumped about that one, as that was a nice tackle. I think that was Ty Yost carrying for no gain. And a 3rd down and 10 for the Emery Spartans. They are on the San Juan side of midfield here at the Bronco 46 after the turnover on downs, but they haven't been able to make any hay yet. And Gilbert will work from the shotgun as he has all game long. Trips to the right for the Spartans. And Gilbert will drop back. This time he has protection and has a man, and it's caught inside the 10, and it's a touchdown, as Trevin Gilbert connects with Porter Herdsman for a long one. A 44-yard touchdown pass, and finally breaking the goose egg are the Emery Spartans.
Yeah, and if you're San Juan, you wanted that goose egg, but you can't be mad about the effort of your DB there, because just a heck of a play, heck of a throw, and a catch and run, and those things happen. It's hard to keep teams scoreless in 4 quarters, especially the championship caliber teams. Emery's here for a reason.
Right. And, I asked Coach Fiamalu, John Fiamalu, before the game about his team, talked to me about these 2 games leading to this point in the state tournament, and he said they were peaking at the right time. You know, he liked the way they'd been playing. Obviously, they knew they were up against a real tough challenge here tonight, but kind of unfortunate we didn't get to play that interview. We had no pregame tonight after having to wait to get in this booth tonight after that 1A state championship game, but they score here and make it 41-7, 3:44 left in the third quarter play. They would need to get back to within 21 to cease the running clock rules. So obviously they would still have a long way to go here, but for Trevin Gilbert, you talk about a guy who's been good all year for Emery. That's his 33rd touchdown pass of the season. And by reference, with the 2 tonight, Jayton Knight has 38. So those 2 players pretty close to each other all season long. And for Porter Herdsman, just his 2nd touchdown catch of the season.
Onside kick, and Brandon Bethea able to secure it before it goes 10 yards. So San Juan will take over on Emery's about 47, I think.
And this happening with 3:33 now to go in the third quarter. Again, Broncos up 41-7 in the 2A state championship game. We're glad you've joined us. One final Friday Night Lights broadcast of the season before we move over to basketball tonight and wrestling. Art, I don't know. I know you've taken a coaching job at San Juan High School. I don't know if you'll be able to do the wrestling broadcast this year. We can talk about that in a minute. But as San Juan will run the ball to the sideline here, no gain on the carry. I think it is Jagger Neves carrying for no gain that time.
And if you're San Juan, you want to have that same sense of urgency as you had the first of the game. I know it's a pretty big lead, 41-7, but you scored 41 points in this game. Emery's now got 7. They can put some points on the board if you're not careful and make this a contest. So you can't just rest on that lead right now with 2:52 left in the third. You got to go down and put some points on the board.
Jayton Knight will dial his own number right up the gut again, and he's going to rattle ahead for 11 yards, it looks like, and should be a San Juan first down. It depends on the spot. They spot it right at the stick, so a 10-yard run down to the Emery 39, but it is a first down. And Jayton Knight now has 44 yards rushing on the game. That's his first carry of the second half, and this time was it a handoff to Jake Ivins? Okay, so that inside shovel pass to Jake Ivins, and he gets a quick 15 yards. So a pass completion for Jayton Knight, and Jake Ivins another catch. And the Broncos marching down the field inside the Emery 30, now to the 25-yard line. Down under 2:20 to go in the third quarter under a running clock. Knight on the option, pitches late to Jagger Neves, and he slips down at the 25, trying to cut it up on the edge over there, and no gain on that run.
Yeah, the turf monster got him on that one, and that's just playing on turf. You know, your feet don't stick as well as they do in that natural grass and dirt.
I don't know if I've marked this all year for Jagger Neves. 0-0-0, 3 straight no-yard gains. And, boy, whoever figured out the lighting, that's beautiful. Thank you. And that's Tough again helping us out. Art, your son, he's a good kid as San Juan connects. And it's Javen Montella who goes the distance from 25 yards out. I believe that's Montella. Is that right?
22.
As Jayton Knight connects with Javen Montella after he made the catch of the year last week in the semifinals. He gets a touchdown here with 1:45 to go in the third quarter.
Nice play progression there. Nice play call by Coach Christensen. And just a nice drive to get down the field and answer. Emery's put 7 more points on the board here if we can get this PAT.
And Trip Palmer, kills his own center, I think, as he kicks him right in the butt with that kick. That's hilarious. That was a line drive. It looked like Tripp just kind of phoned that one in right there, man. Yeah. I don't know if the hold was wonky or what went on, but that was funny. Yeah. And so Tripp only 1 of 4 on the night tonight, so I guess he'd probably like to have that one back. But the Broncos up 47-7 now with 1:45 to go as Jayton Knight finds Javen Montella. For Montella, it is his 8th touchdown catch of the season. And, of course, for Jayton Knight, now 39 touchdown passes on the season. The 25-yarder for Javen Montella, that's just his 2nd catch of the night. So he's up to 24 net yards now for the San Juan senior. So I tell you, Art, and this is the thing, the Broncos, and it's come late in games sometimes, but they spread it around, all these weapons that the Broncos have had this season. You know, you've got 6 receivers who can be used at any moment. 3 running backs who can be used at any moment. Of course, the quarterback who's been an excellent leader since his coming in for his first varsity game in the tough loss against Grantsville to start this year. But Jayton Knight is coming to his own this year, and it hasn't been perfect, but he's been a great leader for this team and is leading them now on their way to a 4th straight state championship.
Yeah, and I made the comment early in the game that it's going to come down to him in this. I mean, I know it's a team effort, but he's that field general out there, and he's really picked up his awareness to run the ball in the last couple of quarters, and that's just been, I think, the difference is now the defense is having to key off of him as a runner.
And they will throw complete, does Emery here on the far side, and it looks like that one went to Braxton Butler. Not a whole lot, a couple yards on that play. And Branton Bethea on the stop for the San Juan Broncos.
Under a minute left here in the third. We're at 47-7, so looks like we're almost to the 4th quarter and 1 quarter away from a 4-peat.
Yeah, and I'm guessing this is probably going to be the last times we see these seniors, these starters out here on the field here momentarily. Probably in the 4th quarter, we're going to start seeing some underclassmen out there for San Juan as they get a big play on the Broncos here. They connect and get across midfield into San Juan territory. Looks like that was probably about a 20-yard play.
Yeah, nice play there by Emery, and they're keep battling here. It's your San Juan. You got to keep playing football regardless of field position and score. Finish this game out, all 4 quarters.
Hayden Abrams on the catch for Emery. Trevin Gilbert with the completion. And we're into probably this is going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter here now with 15 seconds to go. Gilbert has pressure, throws, and it's caught. And this is going to be another Emery touchdown as it is Hayden Abrams who beat the defender downfield and gets into the end zone again. So back-to-back touchdowns for the Spartans on back-to-back possessions.
6 seconds left in the third, too, Rhett. And this is what I'm talking about. You've got to just continue to play hard football here. And they had good pressure. That interior 3 had good pressure on the quarterback. They were in his face. Just a great play, and the defender kind of gets tripped up and falls down, and the receiver there just able to take that in for 6.
And that was impressive because the pressure was there. The Broncos had gotten to the quarterback, but it is a 48-yard touchdown pass.
And PAT's good.
From Trevin Gilbert, to Hayden Abrams. And so on back-to-back possessions, Emery scores after San Juan shut him out for the entire first half. We've got ourselves a 47-14 game in the waning seconds of the 3rd quarter, but again, we're under running clock rules. San Juan had the 35-0 lead coming into this second half.
And so you're probably going to see an onside kick again. They've already
for
kicked
the rest
2.
of the night, I'm sure. As Emery's got to do what you got to do here.
So now San Juan, if you're not going to use the clock because they like to go quick and throw that ball around, and anytime you do that, like I said earlier, you run the risk of incompletions and going 3 and out in short time. You have got to either use that clock or you've got to get back in the end zone to keep this score with the Emery Spartans. I don't care how big the lead is. You never want to just rest on that.
Well, here comes the onside try, and it's nicely done, but the Broncos, it bounces perfectly into the front man there for San Juan. And I'm going to try to see the number here. It's 52.
It's Cash Palmer.
So Cash
No,
Palmer.
Cooper.
Sorry, yep. Gets the football, the senior, in his final game as a Bronco. Thought he was going to keep the ball and go off field. 1st and 10 for San Juan, right around midfield at about the 48-yard line.
Here's the other thing that score does for you if you're San Juan. It allows you to keep your starters on the field and let them finish this game out now because Emery has shown they can go score.
And Jayton Knight is going to dial his own number, and he'll go downfield, cuts it up on the sideline, and beats people. There is a flag, little stutter step, and into the end zone he goes. I think they said he stepped out of bounds at the 8, but I think it's all coming back anyway on a penalty.
Yeah, unfortunate, too, because what a run by Jayton to get down there. But regardless of that, interesting to see what the play call is here. Great call, great run by Jayton, and that's exactly what you guys keep doing. Just keep pounding that rock.
I'm just going to say, we've seen Jagger Neves out in open space, and we've seen J.D. Palmer out in open space all year long, but That's the first time I recall Jayton Knight just getting out in open space, and, man, he looks like a beast when he runs the football out there. Good moves. He's got some size on him, of course, and, man, that was an impressive run. It's too bad that got called back.
Yeah, holding call on San Juan. But that'll take us to the end of the third, so we'll go to the fourth quarter. San Juan in prime position to go down and get a score here.
47-14 is the lead for the San Juan Broncos. We head into the final frame of the 2024 2A Utah State Championship game. Broncos on their way to a fourth straight state title. We're going to take a break. We'll come back out to Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is the place for top quality auto body and glass service in the Blanding area. They're now open and operating at their location on North Grayson Parkway. Stop by or give Jackson a call today at 435-485-0069. Lee Collision Repair and Restoration is a proud sponsor of local high school sports.
Welcome back live to Southern Utah University at StreamUtah.Live and Red Rock 92. Friday Night Lights coverage of the 2A Utah State Championship game. And what in the world just happened here?
I think we have a fumble.
So I think the Broncos fumbled the ball on the first play of the fourth quarter.
No. Yeah. Well, we're 12 minutes, so they must have had one play, and now we're moving the.
That is bizarre.
The chains. I thought the third quarter was over.
Me too. Well, all right. I guess we're confused. That's what it is. I guess there was apparently they decided there was 1 second left on the clock or something, and so they ran one play. It's going to be, I believe, 2nd down and 9 for San Juan here. And they're going to spot the ball nowhere near where the yard marker is. Now they'll move it up to where it is, up to the 41. A little bit confused there myself, but at any rate, I guess it was a short run, a 1-yard run, I'm going to assume, from Jagger Neves. Yep. So 2nd down and 9 at the Emery 41-yard line now as we now begin the fourth quarter. And Jayton Knight working from the shotgun. So it is still Jayton. Yes, it is. There's a little pump fake, and now he'll throw deep, looking for it all, and it's a little bit out of the reach. Man, he had his man in Jake Ivins, but again, just about a yard overthrown, and that was a beautiful ball if Jake could have caught up to that one.
It was, but it was into double coverage there. And as we start this fourth quarter, Rhett, I'll tell you, according to my calculations, looking at the UHSA website, San Juan's been in the state game 16 times. They've won it 9 times.
Yep.
I don't know if you've already said a fumble on the field.
Well, I did mention it was their 17th appearance. I guess they're going to rule, is that JD, who picked that fumble up?
JD fumbled it. He picked it up and his knee was down.
All right, so he's down with a loss of 3 on that play after fumbling it. So that's 3 fumbles for San Juan tonight, but they've recovered all 3.
Brings up a 4th down. But and you talked about the 4-peat here and how many teams have done that. But, you know, San Juan goes back to their first championship game in 1960 where they were the runner-up in Class B. First time they won it was in 1989 under Coach Burtonshaw. And you talk about the trilogy of head coaches at San Juan after this play.
Jayton Knight will throw it down the middle of the field, finds Jagger Neves. He's knocked down at the 7-yard line, but the Broncos will have a 1st and goal on a big gain up the middle.
Wide open Jagger Neves as well. But like I was saying, Coach Burtonshaw, he's the first one to win a state title there. He has 3 at San Juan. Coach Lee has 3 as the head coach, 6 as an assistant and a head coach. And then you have Barkley Christian, who has 3. And so if he wins this game, which all outright it should, he's going to be on top of that coaching tree.
Pretty impressive. He has definitely had a good run here with the San Juan Broncos. Is that Trip Palmer carrying? No, that wasn't. That was Jake Ivins again taking a handoff. His 2nd handoff as he rumbles it down to the 2 for a 5-yard run. So Jake Ivins with 11 yards rushing in this game now. Looks like he stays in the backfield. He'll take the handoff and punch it in to the end zone. San Juan touchdown for Jake Ivins. I'm guessing that is his second rushing touchdown of the season. So he's been on the stat sheet before, and they were obviously trying to get the senior a rushing touchdown here tonight.
And you're right. That's all that is that's a head coach that's very aware of who his players are, and he wants to reward those seniors for the tough season and the tough 4 years they've put in here. And so that's why you put a kid like him in there to run that ball where it's not usually his position, because you want to give him a reward for all his 4 years and for this great season. So kudos to Coach Christian. He's always aware of his players, and that's what I've loved most about Coach Christian. He's a player's coach. He knows everyone. And there's, 77, 79 players on that team down there, and he knows every one of them. He's aware of them. He's encouraging to them all. And that's just the man he is. That's why so many kids want to play for him. But like I was talking about earlier, that coaching tree, for years, Burton, Shaw, and Lee were in most people's mind and still are legends. And if you were to make a Mount Rushmore of San Juan football, those two are 1 and 2 up there. And Coach Christensen has cemented his legacy with this 4th title here as we come 10-15 left in the 4th, 54-14. Looks like they're going to get it done. But what a legacy to go up, and he was coached by Coach Lee. So to go up and surpass your mentor, the guy that I coached against, Coach Lee, he was so fantastic as a head coach and a great guy. He coached my kid in junior high for 2 years. Just the level of coaching at San Juan over the last few decades has been tremendous, Rhett.
Yeah, and obviously Barkley is well deserving to be mentioned among those coaches, and is even really kind of putting himself in his own league here, about to win his 4th straight state title. And as the Broncos kick it off, and Emery brings it back near the 20-yard line where they'll start. But San Juan, like you said, up 54-14 now after that last touchdown. And Jake Ivins' second rushing touchdown of the season. And it is so evident that he's aware, like you said, Art. I mean, it makes me even want to play for him, and I'm not interested in playing any football in my current status. So 1st and 10 for Emery from their own 19-yard line. Everybody's staying out there, finishing this season out. I think we're going to have starters on starters here for the remainder of this game, and why not? As Emery will get a bunch of yards right here. They're going to drag this man backwards, finally stop his forward progress. Never really brought him down, but a 14-yard gain for Hayden Abrams on the catch. As these quarterbacks have had better second halves than they had first halves, both of them. But Jayton Knight right now up to, I've got him as, 24 of 36 on the night for Trevin Gilbert. 18 of 37. So he's obviously had the worst of it tonight, but he started to come on here in this 3rd and 4th quarter.
He's continued to battle.
Yeah, and he's thrown the 2 touchdown passes here in the second half as well. So, yeah, really, Art, there's nothing else you can ask from your players. I think you've mentioned it already, is just to keep battling. Well, he gets an unfortunate bounce right here as San Juan will get the interception. Cole Duke snags it. And Emery got a fortuitous bounce in the first half. Now San Juan gets the fortuitous bounce on the tip drill, and Cole Duke is the beneficiary. And for Duke, let me find him on here. That's his 2nd interception of the season, and sets the Broncos up on the Emery side of midfield. That's a tough break for Trevin Gilbert, but the interception sets the Broncos up here. And it is a 1st and goal at the Emery, 43-yard line. 8:37 left in the game now. Again, we're under running clock rules here for the remainder of the night. San Juan up 54-14. And they've got the ball now as Jayton Knight continues to work in the shotgun. And he will hand off to Jagger Neves, who bounces it to the outside. Bounces it further to the outside. Weaves his way through the traffic inside the 20. Still fighting for yardage. And down at the 18 with a long run and a San Juan first down.
And he just keeps motoring there, Rhett. He's excited. He's a junior, so you got to be excited to see him come back and see what they can do with him next year from whatever position they choose to put him at. But, wow, just kept cutting, kept making moves, and Emery defenders were on their heels.
That's his second 25-yard run of the game. His first in the first quarter was a touchdown. And he's up to 179 yards on the night now, unofficially. 13 carries for the junior. And the Broncos in the Emery red zone once again as the snow starts to fly here again at Eccles Coliseum. And Jayton Knight will hand off. And this time we get number 37 out there, Taryn Bayless. And I've marked him off my stat sheet in favor of Jake Ivins tonight. So I go further into doubt. And so Taryn Bayless gets his first handoff of the night and takes it for 5 yards.
Again, another one of those seniors who plays special teams, gets on some defense, but plays a lot of cleanup time on offense for the Broncos. Getting in, making a contribution here in the state championship game. It's his last game of the season as well.
And Coach, the ever cognizant Coach Barkley Christensen, getting those seniors out there, like you said, Art, and he'll get another handoff here, and he's swashbuckled. He's finally getting a run behind some starters, I think, like we mentioned, a couple yards for him on this carry.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Usually he's out there behind the JV line, and he gets kind of beat up by those varsity guys. And, you know, you're giving him the opportunity here to get in the game with 6:38 left, up 54-14, and maybe make his mark on this game and get in the stat book with a touchdown.
It is a 3rd down and short here for the Broncos. They're taking their time now to finally start taking some time off the clock to close this thing out. Clock is running down to 6:20 now to go in this ball game. We're going to do an experiment here tonight. We're going to send Art down on the field with 4 or 5 pieces of equipment. We'll see if we can't get some interviews after this game.
Touchdown.
And it's a touchdown for Jayton Knight. So Jayton keeps it himself and rumbles in from 12 yards out. That is his first rushing touchdown of the evening and his 8th for the season. So another senior goes into the end zone here for San Juan, and that makes it 60-14.
And that's just that RPO read, and you'd like to see him give that ball, but he makes the right read, what the defense gives him, and he takes it up the middle and scores for his team. He's been good at oh, my gosh.
And Trip Palmer nearly kills a kid with another PAT attempt here. Boy, I don't know. Maybe that ball's as solid as a rock down there. He's having trouble getting elevation, but
I don't know. I used to watch old Rich Carlos, the old Denver Bronco kicker back in the 80s, and he kicked barefoot in Denver in the snow. And
yeesh.
So, but, yeah, obviously having some issues getting that ball up over his offensive line.
I wouldn't want to stand in front of Trip right now, I don't think. That makes him 2 of 6 on the night, so definitely not a very characteristic Trip Palmer kind of night, but fortunately for him, the offense has helped him out. They've put 60 points on the board. I guess they put 58 points on the board. He's put 2 up there. But San Juan up 60-14 now. We're under 6 minutes to go in this state championship game, and the Broncos are going to be picking up the 4-peat, folks, barring some sort of astronomical miracle here tonight. And so they kick it off to Emery. The Spartans, to their credit, still battling right to the finish here. Kind of made this a fun second half. Both the teams battling back and forth here. They've traded some scores here in the second half. And it hasn't been against the JV for Emery until now. We're starting to see some of the younger kids come in now for San Juan.
Yeah, that was the majority of their JV kickoff, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 guys out on the ends. But, yeah, JV kickoff team out there, and they do a great job on their kick coverage, getting down there and making the stop.
So 1st and 10 for Emery from their own 30. And this may be the final possession of the evening. We'll see. 5.5, under 5.5 now to go. Under running clock rules, Ty Yost will bounce it off right tackle for 6 quick yards for the Spartans. 2nd down and 4 coming as he moves it across the 35, right at the 35 with the official spot.
And you do have a couple of seniors out there that usually don't start on defense, get in on some, seconds and stuff out there on this defensive front here for San Juan.
And Emery, well, now they've moved it ahead a yard like I thought. It was going to be at the 36. And they will throw complete to the near side. Good contain that time by Trip Palmer, but weaving his way through and taking it all the way across midfield down around the San Juan 40 is Braxton Butler. Big gain for the Emery Spartans on that play. That's a 24-yard pass.
Clock starts again, 4:36 and ticking down. Again, Broncos lead at 60-14 in the fourth.
Emery with a new set of downs here now at the San Juan 41. And Trevin Gilbert will hand off to Ty Yost. He gets hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard on that carry. 2nd down and 9 for the Spartans. And again, we're nearing the final 4 minutes of this one here tonight, so very appropriate to mention San Juan going for their 4th straight state championship. 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They lead it 60-14.
Bring out senior Jake Ivins. He's come off the field probably for the last time tonight.
And the ball is on the 40-yard line, so a lot of fours. And Emery sends a man in motion on 2nd down and 9. Trevin Gilbert drops back. He's grabbed a hold of it, gets away, throws complete on a nice play for the senior quarterback, and that gets him about 7 yards.
Cole Duke comes flying in there. He kind of gets a stinger, dead leg on his left leg, but he comes flying in there on that ret to try to knock that ball down. Great effort by Cole Duke as the clock ticks down 3:20.
He's got a hunger for that football. He's got an interception tonight, his 2nd of the season, and it was like a heat-seeking missile to the football that time. Gilbert will hand off, I believe, to Yost. He's hit immediately, did not get the first down. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and a long one, maybe 2 yards. 4th down it'll be for Emery and 2.
I believe that was Tyrion Lee that came crashing down there to help make that tackle.
And we are down now under 3 minutes to go in this 2A state championship. Snow really flying now here at Southern Utah University. As Gilbert will continue to work from the shotgun. Hey, now that the snow started up, we're going to send you down on the field, my man.
Now I got to go down and play in the snow, build a snowman.
Gilbert will drop back, has a little bit of time, throws incomplete over the middle. But again, that won't really stop the clock for too long here. With the running clock rules, San Juan up 60-14. Gonna be finishing off their 4th straight state championship tonight. It is hard to believe they're going to move into an exclusive group tonight, a group of 7 teams all time, they'll join 7 teams all time. If you count West Salt Lake back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, who have won at least 4 straight state championships. And let's see, down to 2 minutes to go now as Emery, I guess that was a turnover on downs. That's right. So San Juan takes the football back, and Taryn Bayless will take the handoff as we've got Bo Yeomans in the game now for the San Juan Broncos to close this thing out. 1:50 left in the game, a 60-14 lead for San Juan. They will be 4-time 2A Utah State champions in 1:40 seconds. The JV team on the field now to close this thing out. There's about to be a blue and gold celebration at midfield here at Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. Down to 1:20 to go as the San Juan offense letting the time tick off the clock before they snap the ball. Taryn Bayless will get another handoff, and he rumbles off left tackle for a San Juan first down to the 45-yard line. And now a wholesale player change here as I think, I don't know if this is the starters to come back out to close this thing out. I think just a new, no it is. It is all the starters coming back out again as Jayton Knight back out there for San Juan. Players now sneaking onto the field here. This may be the final play right here. We're down to 50 seconds to go in this ball game. They know they are 4-time state champions on the San Juan sideline. As the Broncos let the clock tick down to 40 seconds to go, they'll snap it. Jayton Knight will kneel on the football, and I believe that's it. They are 4-time 2A Utah State champions. It is a 4-peat for the San Juan Broncos in the 2004 2A Utah State Championship. As they gather together at midfield, and it's a big celebration down there with the blue and gold. And time still not officially expired, but they are celebrating. We're down to 4 seconds to go. And now finally the time officially ticks down. It's a 60-14 final. And they will congratulate or shake hands with the Emery Spartans as the San Juan Royals now run onto the field as well. And the Broncos have won 4 straight 2A Utah State Championships. Here tonight they do it at Southern Utah University for the 2nd year in a row on a cold and now once again snowy night at Eccles Coliseum. And congratulations to the San Juan Broncos, who have won 4 straight state championships and absolutely demolished all their 2A opponents this season, including this one here tonight in a 60-14 final. And that kept pace with their season average all season long. All the wins this season against 2A teams, all very equal, staying right in the same average all season long, and a very convincing win to put a bookend on this season here tonight as they continue to celebrate down there on the field. We are going to take a real quick break. When we return, we'll open the post-game show here on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We'll connect with Art Adair down on the field, and he'll try to pick up some interviews for us with Coach Barkley Christensen, maybe some other coaches as well, and we'll try to get some players on as well. Again, we'll take a break. The San Juan Broncos win it 60-14 here tonight at Southern Utah University. They are the 2024 2A Utah State champions for the 4th year in a row. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live.
The San Juan Credit Union, providing exceptional financial products in southeastern Utah for over 60 years, is proud to support our local high schools. With branches in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff, along with an ATM in Montezuma Creek, access to those products is easier than ever. The San Juan Credit Union offers checking and saving accounts, bill pay, a wide array of loans, and much more, all on a full-service website and mobile app. Plus, they're federally insured by the National Credit Union Association. The San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union.
Get the resources and quality of a big school education and the support of a smaller school at Utah State Blanding. Explore over 70 degree and certificate programs to find your perfect fit and experience personalized learning with small class sizes and dedicated faculty while getting the classic college experience. A Utah State education is affordable too, thanks to competitive tuition and tons of scholarship opportunities. Visit blanding.usu.edu to learn more about becoming an Aggie in Blanding.
Looking for a new insurance provider? Call Jeff Nielsen at San Juan Insurance in Blanding. For more than a quarter century, Jeff has offered a full range of insurance products: auto, home, life, health, and more. Give him a call today, 435-678-3223, or pay him a visit at 60 North Main Street in Blanding. San Juan Insurance, over 25 years of experience and just getting started.
Let's talk cancer. Monticello, Utah. If you lived, worked, or attended school in Monticello, Utah from 1941 to 2002 for at least 3 years, you might have a higher cancer risk from uranium tailing exposure. Apply to get a free cancer screening today. One screening could bring peace of mind to you, your friends, and family members, help spread the word, and save a life. Screenings are available for a limited time through San Juan Public Health. Call today, 435-587-3838, or visit sanjuanpublichealth.org to apply.
Welcome back live to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live, our coverage of the 2A Utah State Championship game, which the San Juan Broncos win for the 4th year in a row, and they are 2024 2A Utah State champions. And they're celebrating at midfield still as we open the Friday Night Lights postgame show on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. It's Rhett Sifford welcoming you back to the studio. We've got Art Adair down on the field, and I know he's in a melee down there. They've had team photos, obviously, team celebrations. Art, can you hear me down there? I think we might.
You, Rhett. Can you hear me?
Have we got Art down there? I'm not hearing him down there, so we may have to just Just wait a minute. We've got him.
All right, can you hear me up there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, we'll try
got
to.
you, Art. Sorry, I wasn't listening to the right thing. He's going to talk to some
Well-
players and coaches for us down there.
We'll try to talk loud down here, and there's a lot of embracing going on and a lot of tears by some seniors. We'll try to grab some here for you real quick. We're going to try to get J.D. Palmer here. He's a senior. His jersey is ripped in the back. That tells you how hard he plays every stinking game. But a lot of emotions right now, J.D. Put into words what this fourth championship, what this senior season has meant to you.
It's just been so awesome to be part of this family. I couldn't be more happy with where I'm at and what we've accomplished.
You're a workhorse on both sides of the ball. What do you attribute that stamina, that success to?
To just not wanting to let down, like I mentioned, my family. My brothers on the team, I couldn't let them down, and that's what drove me every play.
What's the one thing you're going to take away from this senior season, this four-peat? J.D. Palmer, number 40, walking off the field. It's hard. We've all been there. It's one of the hardest things ever to walk off the field the last time. What's the one thing you're going to take away from this season?
The one thing I'll take away is that the hard work you put in will always pay off. Be proud of your preparation and don't regret anything.
All right, thanks, JD. Awesome season. We're going to grab Jake Ivins here real quick for us, Rhett. We got Jake, the man that has no fear, coming across the middle of the field. Sure-handed kid. Jake, what are your thoughts on the four-peat?
It's unbelievable, man. I remember dreaming about this when I was a kid. Just all that work we put in finally came to pay off.
How has this program been able to stay so successful for 4 years, Jake?
You know, it starts with the coaches. They got us working hard, and then it's down to the players. We're in the weight room every day. Our new season, well, I guess their new season will start Monday. They're all going to be in the weight room.
Yeah, you said their new season, senior, walk off this field for the last time, a lot of emotions. But what has this season meant to you?
Getting hurt week 1, I didn't know how many games I'd be able to play. Luckily, it wasn't that bad, and I got to come back and really show out, and I'm glad for that, and I'm glad for all my teammates that helped me through this season.
Awesome, Jake. Heck of a season, heck of a career. You're one of the toughest kids I've ever seen go across the middle. Congratulations to you. All right, Rhett, we're going to have to walk all the way down here now to find our other interviews.
Yeah,
so if you want to talk about some stats here.
All right, yeah, I know they're sending you down, and I've got it set up to where I can hear you now, so feel free to cut in at any time. And obviously we're going to look at these San Juan Broncos here, these final game stats. And we're going to start with Jayton Knight, and just what an outstanding day for him. I need to continue to work on these. I think maybe we're going to get Jagger Reeves down there.
Oh, yep. We've got Jagger and Jayton. We'll keep Jayton here too, but Jagger, first of all, what's your thoughts on this championship, this four-peat?
Job's not finished. Got one next year.
That's right, and we're a little quiet, and I know that we've had you up in the interview booth a couple times this year, so I know you wax eloquent with your words, but we'll need you. I need you to talk as loud as you play on that field. So throughout the season, you made big plays on both sides of the ball. What do you attribute that success to?
Hard work, just weight room, obviously, and then watching film, knowing what they're doing.
You had a great game here today. It seemed like sometimes they had you in their clutches and you're able to spin out of that and get upfield. Do you live in the weight room?
Yeah, every morning.
Is that the key to success?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. What do you take away from this season?
I definitely learned a lot, and just keep lifting and ball out next season.
You're a junior, so you're coming back. What has this group of seniors meant to you personally?
They show a lot of leadership, so try to be like them next year and get another one.
Awesome. Congratulations on that third championship, and now you're looking for your fourth ring next season. Good job this season. Now we have the quarterback. We talked about him earlier, that this game will rest on him, and he's man enough to take that. Jayton Knight, number 7. He wears it proudly after my favorite quarterback for the Denver Broncos. But what does this championship mean your senior year?
It means the world to me, and
It means the world to all of us. We've worked our asses off all year long since June. I'm so proud of these guys.
You know, you took over from a quarterback that started for 2 years here. There was some unknowns. We had seen you in some cleanup time throughout the last season, but we didn't know how great you could be, and I think you proved this year that you're just as good a quarterback as anyone to come through this program. Talk about how this team came together when losing, some key players last year, but you just reloaded.
Yeah, losing all those starters since they've been in juniors, sophomores, they've played a big part, but I think it was super special for all of us. We knew we had a role to fill, and so we came and filled it, and we worked hard all summer to earn those spots and to play hard.
As a quarterback, you play behind 5 big old boys who can make or break your decision-making. Talk about those 5 offensive linemen, how they made your season, and just anything you'd like to say about those guys up front.
They have made this the best season I could have had. Absolutely great pocket protection all year long. Yeah, we had some few slip-ups here and there, but it doesn't matter. They just kept blocking, and even though when I get on them, they would just stay strong to me and just be my dogs.
What are you going to take away from this season, and most importantly, 4 years is wearing that San Juan blue and gold?
Just how special it is as a brotherhood for San Juan. We are unstoppable. We will continue our brotherhood clear out till we die.
Congratulations, Jayton Knight, your quarterback of your 4-peat state champion San Juan Broncos, and we're going to go try to find Coach Christensen real quick here. Looks like he's doing an on-camera interview, so we're going to have to. Yeah, we've got him, but he's in an interview, so he with ABC4 News. So go ahead, Rhett, and we'll come back when he gets off the camera.
All right, I sure will, and just want to. We tried a little bit ago to try some stats. I'll try it again. 296 unofficial passing yards for Jayton Knight tonight. Had him as 24 of 36 on the game tonight with the 3 passing touchdowns. Okay, and I think, we got those stats spit out, and I do apologize for the technical difficulties. It is a little bit quiet on the interview, but turn it up if you can. Art's going to get us a conversation here with Coach Barkley Christensen now.
All right, we got Coach Christensen, 4th state championship here. You surpassed Coach Burtonshaw, Coach Lee, who both won 3 at their time with San Juan. Put into words what that means to you, because I know you were coached by Coach Lee.
Yeah, those 2 are legends, and what they have established at San Juan is I'm going to say I'm the benefactor of what they've done and the traditions that they started. San Juan wasn't a football school until Coach Burtonshaw took it over in 1987, and he totally flipped the culture. And then Coach Lee ran with it, and I'm just glad I'm blessed enough to be the next guy they hired, and I hope I'm making those 2, Coach Burtonshaw up in heaven proud and Coach Lee proud for what we've done.
What were you most impressed about with this group of kids coming back? You lost your quarterback, your running back from last season that had 2 state titles under their belt. A couple of unknowns to some of us that weren't in that group all summer coming into this season, but you just kind of come out and kept rolling. So what was it about this team that impressed you?
Just ever since they were freshmen, I've always teased them that they've always kind of been little turds, but they've always listened to me, and they've always done everything we've ever asked them to do. If you would have come out to us, an early June workout, those guys we almost had 100% attendance all summer long. And that's what it takes. I mean, it's not fun. It's nothing super special, no trick that we're doing. It's just hard work and kind of a lot of boringness, and it just stacks up together, and it leads to state championships.
We've talked about it till we're blue in the face. You come into this season on a record-winning streak. You drop that first game, a heartbreaker at Hurricane. But you've always talked about this is the end result that you're looking for. How do you get those kids each week to buy into, hey, it's not about the individual accomplishments, it's about this game right here and walking off the field as state champs?
Yeah, and that can be a challenge sometimes. But like I said, these kids, they've always been very competitive. We try to set up things in practice to where they're always competing. They love to win, and they just kind of get it figured out. It's really nothing I need to tell them. you come into practice and from day one, what do we want? Well, we want a state championship. All right, well, here's the blueprint we got to do to get there. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tiresome. This is what it takes, and they just buy into it.
Talk a little bit about your quarterback, Jake Knight. You know, there was some errant passes tonight in this game, some big passes that missed the mark, but over the course of the year, and even when it came down to it, he moved the ball with his legs tonight when he needed to on the RPOs and just kind of put that on his back. Talk about what he's meant as coming in this year and being the starter, taking over from Parker. What has he meant to you and to this program this year?
He's been huge. Jayton, you know, right after the season ended last year, I sent him a book, Extreme Ownership, and we did a book study, a chapter a week, and he took that as serious as anybody I've ever seen take a book study serious, and he would come in and talk to me about lessons that he's learned and he's applied, and that's just how he's been to coach. Anything I tell him to do or anything I ask of him, he'll get it done, he'll do it, and he's so competitive. He does it in a great way, and I couldn't be happier for him. What a season. I mean, almost 3,500 yards, over 40 touchdowns, filling in for a guy that probably would go down as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play at San Juan, and to do what he did this year, you know, he should be very proud of this one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was phenomenal week in and week out. I think especially after that first game where he looked like he was a little more timid taking the reins, and then he just came out explosive in week 2. What about Jagger Neves, the junior coming back? He's been a playmaker on both sides of the ball for you. He's been Mr. Reliable down the stretch. I don't want you to tip your hand too much here, but what's it going to look like next season with him coming back?
Man, having a Swiss Army knife like that, you know, I give the players a lot of autonomy, and Jagger obviously came into our program as a quarterback. He wanted to switch positions this year so he could obviously get on the field, and we had to have him on the field. He's a playmaker. Me and Jagger have had some conversations about next year of where we want him. He might just play every single position. I don't know. Maybe put him at left tackle a little bit too. We'll have to see.
That sounds good. Coach, it's been a fantastic year, 4 state championships in a row. You're a tremendous coach. We've seen it. We've talked about it from the press box a lot every week. You're very cognitive of the players on the field, getting Jake in there for a rushing touchdown tonight, doing those things. I consider you a player's coach. I know I have a kid on the team, and I just think that you have done a tremendous job here with these kids. And that's what it's all about. So congratulations, Championship 4. You're probably not getting pizza tonight with your coaches and watching film till 2. You're probably going to go celebrate. Maybe the film will start tomorrow.
Exactly. Well, you know, Principal Nilsson's, he bought the whole every player Golden Corral tonight, so we're going to go stuff our faces at a buffet, and you know, I'll probably watch the game on the way home just because I love football, and we'll see some things we could do wrong, but I'll probably try to tell one of these seniors something. They're going to say, I don't have to listen to you anymore.
Any final thoughts?
Nah, just want to thank everybody, you guys for covering us all year, the players, all their hard work, the community of Blanding, the school. Just very grateful, very blessed to be in this situation.
Congratulations, Coach. We're going to send it back up to Red up top. But Coach Christensen, now 4-time state champ coach. Like I said earlier, Rhett, on Mount Rushmore of San Juan football, this guy's on top right now. So congratulations to the San Juan Broncos. Send it back to you, Rhett.
All right, thanks, Art. Thank you for the work down there, buddy. I know you're probably going to head back up and maybe have some final thoughts up here. But what great conversations down there, and just what great commentary by all the players. And, of course, hearing from Barkley Christensen with a lengthy interview right there. I know maybe it was a little difficult to hear on the broadcast. We did have it up as loud as we could, but if you get a chance to go back and listen to the archive stream, we'll have that up on the Red Rock 92 website for you, and I can help the volume out a little bit on that, so the archive version will probably be a little bit better off, and of course you'll have an opportunity to hear the archive version on StreamUtah.Live as well. But what a game, what a championship for the San Juan Broncos, what a testament to the team effort out here, and just the way they work together all year and never say die, and just came out as a unit and dominated here tonight in the 2024 state championship, their 4th in a row. I mentioned the stats for Jayton Knight, the 296 unofficial passing yards. He was 24 of 36 on the night, 3 passing touchdowns. Jagger Neves, who you heard from there in the postgame, 179 unofficial yards as well for him, 13 carries, the 3 rushing touchdowns in the game.
when you look at those two players, obviously two of the main guys who helped the team get it done, but they could not get it done without the linemen either. And so the guys who don't show up on the stat sheet, those guys doing yeoman work in the trenches, night in, night out for these San Juan Broncos are the ones who really make it happen. Jayton Knight into the night with 56 rushing yards as well, and he ran in the final touchdown of the evening, a 12-yarder. Looking at J.D. Palmer, the senior, concludes his San Juan Bronco career. He ended with 22 yards on 10 carries tonight and a rushing touchdown. Jake Ivins came in and ran a touchdown tonight as a senior for San Juan. Had 13 yards on 3 carries, kind of a different role for him, normally just a receiver. And he had 86 yards receiving tonight on 8 catches. Branton Bethea, 64 yards on 7 catches tonight and 2 receiving touchdowns in the state championship game. Javen Montella had a 25-yard touchdown reception, ended the night with 24 yards on 2 catches. Owen Adams had 1 catch for 20 yards. Well, I guess we're getting word that Art is probably not going to be coming back up, so I'm just going to be closing it out here, and we'll get out of the way for the Morgan folks as Morgan getting set to take on the defending state champion Rich Rebels in the 3A state championship about to get underway. I think that's pretty much it for all the guys who played the starter roles tonight for the San Juan Broncos. And again, it is the 60-14 final here this evening. It's tough to believe it, or hard to believe it, I guess. It's over and done with now. The 2A state football season in the books, and that's our final Friday Night Lights broadcast on Red Rock 92 and StreamUtah.Live. We'll obviously switch gears and be moving on into the basketball season, and we'll have copious coverage for you all winter long for both San Juan and Monticello boys basketball, so we do hope you'll stay with us all winter long for that. But what else can you say? The San Juan Broncos winning the 2024 2A Utah State Championship tonight. Congratulations to the Broncos. I know they're going to have a fun night celebrating and a probably crazy bus ride home tonight. I doubt that these boys and these coaches will get any sleep on the way home tonight, and they'll be rolling in the early morning hours for a little bit of a parade coming into town, and then I'm sure they'll have further celebrations once they get back into Blanding. So San Juan, the 2024 2A Utah State champions for the 4th year in a row. They four-peat. They are fourth straight state championship winners as they move into a group of now 8 teams who have done that in the state of Utah. And there's still work to be done. The Broncos, as you heard, are going to go right back to work at the start of the week as they prepare for the 2025 season. That's part of what builds success for this team, and that they just continue all year long working towards state championships at this point. I want to say thanks to everybody involved, to all our broadcasts for Friday Night Lights this year, all the sponsors, the pictureatpalmer.com/StreamUtah.Live crew, Caleb Carr with us here on these postseason trips. He's made the journeys, and so Caleb, it's been a fun year with you. We're going to get to continue working together in the winter, so it's not like I'm saying bye to you. You got to live with me for the whole next winter. So, obviously Lane Palmer as well, the mastermind behind StreamUtah.Live, and a lot of work on that side. Cortland Lyman as well, a lot of work for us this year, and other folks involved as well. I want to say thanks to all the listeners and the viewers this season. I do see that. I guess we'll just close it out here, but that should be it, folks. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it's over. We're going to sign off one final time from Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University, where, again, if you didn't know, the San Juan Broncos win their 4th straight 2A state title here tonight by the score of 60-14 over the Emery Spartans. We'll, of course, have an article in the San Juan Record about it. Lots of pictures, I'm sure, so stay tuned for that. On behalf of Art Adair, my color man and good buddy, I'm Rhett Sifford. Did you have some final comments? No, he has no final comments, but that'll be it. Rhett Sifford saying so long from Eccles Coliseum at Southern Utah University. Have a great rest of your weekend, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and StreamUtah.Live. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Bradford Tire, San Juan Building Supply, Blue Mountain Foods, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Colleen K's, San Juan School District Adult Education, Primary Residential Mortgage, Energy Fuels, Emery Telcom, Four Corners Homes, San Juan Pharmacy, Utah State University Blanding, Creative Floors, San Juan Counseling, Holiday Construction, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Red's Ace Hardware, San Juan Health, Four Corners Regional Care Center, Northern Electric, Dependable Auto Repair, San Juan Insurance, Precision Rehab, Red Mechanical, Flights Gymnastics, San Juan School District CTE Programs, Blue Mountain Hospital, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage and Tailor-Made Monuments, San Juan Public Health, Crowley Construction, Jones and DeMille Engineering, San Juan Mortuary, Napa Motor Parts, Utah Navajo Health System, San Juan Credit Union, and Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and StreamUtah.Live.